I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
that is
and
the best shit fucking
shopping
ever.
for the dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the feet.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. People. Oh my goodness. Y'all smell that? Oh, y'all smell that? Oh, it smells like justice. Hot plates of justice. Woo! People. Oh my goodness. I know y'all are just as excited as I am today. Oh my God, little Irish girl member for 5 months. A big shout out to Sarah Shock and Horror for gifting 20 memberships. Wow. Yeah, people. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Breaking news to get to right now. A former Stoughton police detective has been charged with killing a 23-year-old pregnant woman years ago. Now, the indictment claims that Matthew Farwell strangled Sandra Birchmore in her Canton apartment, then staged the room to make it appear as if she had committed suicide. After her death, Stoughton's police chief accused 3 former Stoughton officers of abusing their power and having inappropriate sexual relationships with her. Farwell and 2 other officers were sued by Birchmore's estate.
Good afternoon. We are staying on top of breaking news this afternoon. A former Stoughton police detective has been indicted in the death of Sandra Birchmore. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm JC Monahan. Matthew Farwell is accused of strangling Birchmore to death in 2021. He's also accused of staging her apartment to make Birchmore's death look like she had died by suicide. Court documents show Farwell is accused of having a sexual relationship with Birchmore for several years. Birchmore was 3 months pregnant when she died. Now, according to the Boston Globe, a pathologist hired by her family found Birchmore's death was not a suicide and, in fact, a homicide. Birchmore's family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. We are expecting a press conference on the indictment. We will carry that live for you. It begins at 1:45.
People. Now, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Right now, I don't know about y'all, but just in case y'all are feeling like I am right now, I'm going to take a second. Okay? I'm just going to take a second and drink this in. Because this is not something that we get to see often. So, just, I need a second to. I mean, there will be a press conference at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. It is now 1:25 in 20 minutes. Boston 10 just said that they would be streaming it live. That means I'll be streaming it. We will watch that together. And it is very important to note that it is U.S. Attorney Josh Levy who will be conducting this press conference. U.S. Attorney Josh Levy, who is currently in charge of an open investigation that Michael Morrissey has been the target of for quite some time. Michael Morrissey being the Norfolk County District Attorney. Michael Morrissey being the Norfolk County District Attorney who oversaw this investigation when it initially happened. Michael Morrissey, Norfolk County District Attorney, who oversaw the investigation into Boston police officer John O'Keefe and has wrongfully accused, indicted, and put on trial Karen Reed, his girlfriend. And this is, people, this isn't some local police department. This is United States Attorney Josh Levy, who handed out this indictment to Matthew Farwell. Matthew Farwell, who was last seen, the last person to be seen leaving Sandra Birchmore's apartment. He admits to it. Matthew Farwell, who staged the scene, allegedly, but we all know what happened, staged the scene to look like Sandra Birchmore had committed suicide. Sandra Birchmore, who was pregnant, but most likely pregnant with his child. This is unraveling. And every single law enforcement agent who handled that investigation is taking a monumentous shit in their pants right now. And I love it. I love it. People, this is about to get fun. This is where the fun part starts. All of these months where so many of you were dying for justice, riddled with pain for seeing an injustice done. And now, this is where the fun part starts, because now you get to see that justice start to happen. The justice that Plevin said was never coming. The justice that, and I'm going to give a special shout out to Andrea Vickers. Isn't that her name? Yeah, I'm talking to you, troll. I'm talking to you. Said would never happen. Where are the feds, they say? Well, here they are. Here they are. People. I mean, I don't know how else to handle this right now. Right now, I'm in this place spinning in my head of just excitement. There's a little bit of spite there too. All you people who had the audacity to call everybody in this chat right now paranoid, to call us all conspiracy theorists. This is your first bite. This is your first bite in eating that dick. Oh, how does it taste? How does it taste? I know that this is petty, but I am happy to be this petty. I am happy to be this petty. And we haven't even heard the press conference yet. But we've been waiting for this press conference, haven't we? And I'm so glad. I am so glad that this is happening at first with Sandra Birchmore's case. I'm so glad. You know what this is going to do for her civil suit? This is going to be amazing and beautiful for her civil suit. This is just getting started. I believe Microdots was in the chat earlier, and he said something about this is the beginning of the end of the end. Now, let me go ahead and read you guys something. And this is courtesy of my friend. And Cherry has been kicking ass. And Cherry would have got these too. It's just that this person was quicker. So big shout out to my friend Annie for sending these to me. I'm gonna read these. And I think Boston Mike posted them too. So let me go ahead and read. Petty and proud as fuck, little Irish girl. Yeah, I love it. Oh my god. Like, oh, this is such a good day. This is such a good day. Hold on a second. Let me take a... All right, so I'm gonna have to read this. Between on or about March 27th, 2012 and or about April 1st, 2022, defendant Matthew Farwell was a sworn officer of the Stoughton Police. Hold on, let me do this an easier way. Let me do this a much easier way. Yeah, I can't see. I'm going blind in my old age. So, all right, let's see if this is better. Okay. Between or on or about March 27th, 2012, and or about April 1st, 2022, defendant Matthew Farwell was a sworn officer of the Stoughton Police Department in Stoughton, Massachusetts. In his capacity as a Stoughton police officer, Farwell also served as an instructor for the Stoughton Police Explorers Academy, hereinafter the Police Explorers, which was a vocational education program for local youth. The Police Explorers was designed to enable youth participants to learn about law enforcement carriers. Now, I want to just real quick, before I continue, this is the United States of America versus Matthew Farwell. And the violation is count 1, killing a witness or a victim. So this is what he's being charged with. He's being charged with killing a witness or victim. But all right, hold on a second. Before Birchmore attained the age of 16 years old, Farwell engaged in a sexual intercourse and other acts with Birchmore. Farwell's sexual contact with Birchmore continued until in or around early 2021. The Stoughton Police Department required employees, including police officers, to accurately report their time and attendance in order to receive wages and overtime. During some of the shifts where Farwell was supposed to be performing his duties as a Stoughton police officer, he was instead engaged in sex acts with Birchmore. See, I love what they're doing here because there's that issue of whether or not he should still be found if he did anything wrong while on the job. That's all open right now in this civil case. So this basically just shuts him down right there. This totally shuts him down. Like, yes, while he was getting paid for overtime and shit, he was basically grooming and assaulting a young girl. Wow. The Stoughton Police Department required employees, including police officers, to accurately report their time and attendance in order to receive wages and overtime. During some of the shifts when Farwell was supposed to be performing his duties in his Stoughton police office as a Stoughton police officer, he was instead engaged in sex acts with Birchmore. He failed to disclose that information to the Stoughton Police Department, and he took steps to conceal his conduct from other department employees. In or around December 2020, Birchmore learned that she was pregnant. Birchmore told Farwell that he was the father of the child. On or about January 20th, 2021, Birchmore's friend called the Stoughton Police Department and told a department employee that Farwell had been having sex with Birchmore. Shortly thereafter, a Stoughton Police Department employee told Farwell about the call. On or about February 1st, 2021, Farwell killed Birchmore by strangulation. Shortly thereafter, Farwell staged Birchmore's Canton, Massachusetts apartment to make it appear as if Birchmore had committed suicide. The grand jury realleges and incorporates by reference the allegations in paragraphs 1 through 8 of this indictment. On or about February 1st, 2021, in Canton, in the District of Massachusetts, the defendant, Matthew Farwell, did kill Sandra Birchmore, a person known to the grand jury with malice, forethought, willfully, deliberately, maliciously, and with premeditation, and with the intent to prevent the communication by any person to a law enforcement officer of information relating to the commission or possible commission of a federal offense, to wit, commission or possible commission of the federal offenses of deprivation of rights under color of law and violation of 18 USC 242, coercion and enticement in violation of 18 USC 242B, and wire fraud in violation of 18 USC 1343, all in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1512 A1C. Wow. So this is a federal indictment. So he is being federally charged. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds because, yeah, and death penalty is on the table. So, yeah, people, it's not even Christmas, dude. It's not even Christmas. People, this is amazing. Oh, give me 1 second here, folks. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Oh man, I just realized I was so excited to go live and share this with you guys. I didn't make coffee. I didn't do anything. I have nothing to drink out of, which is the first time probably on any live ever that's ever happened. I've never, ever, ever, ever gone live without having something to drink, like coffee or I thought I had 2 bangs in the fridge, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to make coffee at some point. But yeah, there you have it, folks. I mean, now I don't know if he's in custody. Let's explore Twitter a little bit in the meantime while we wait for this press conference to start. Let me see if we can find the press conference. Mr. Monk's understudy. Thank you so much. Everyone said feds didn't do murders. I know this is part of corruption investigation, but can you explain more? No, I can't yet because there's nothing available yet. But we'll find out in just a few minutes when this press conference starts. I don't know what we're going to do in the meantime before that happens, but
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Had to be done. Jace Esquire, thank you so much. I'm in shock and horror. Check out what Turtle Boy posted about Farwell texting Sandra Birchmore 32,000 times, but no texts were found. Same guy that ran a search and found nothing on Jen McCabe's phone. That's another point. Great point. Make no mistake that the reasons why these things are happening and these results are taking place are due to the actions of certain people. That would be Mizzy. That would be Suzanne Cleveland. If I'm missing anybody in that circle, I apologize. That would be Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney, for reporting this. That would be every single other person who is who has talked about this and used their platform specifically as well. Annie Elise from 10 to Life. She's done at least 2 videos on this case. So make no mistake that these results happen because people are using their voice. And the people who are made aware of these things have used their voice to demand justice. And this is the result, people. They picked him up in Revere, Massachusetts. Asshole had his kid with him. He had to know it was coming. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Dawn B. And Derek says, request super chat song. Only I need Will dancing to it. Audio only with Will dancing. Thank you. Oh, and where's my open up FBI here? This I can do for you. I can do this for you. Okay. There you go. And the closest thing I can do for the super chat song is
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Yeah, that's all you get, homie. But thank you. Let's check Twitter real quick. See what Turtle Boy's tweeting about this. And I've got DMs too. I'm being told to check DMs as well. Oh, snap. Dude. Okay. Check this out, y'all. Thank you, Paul Cristoforo, for this. There he is right there. Feds are fucking, dude, they moved right in on this motherfucker, dude. This is beautiful. Yo, this is beautiful. People. Oh my God. Thank you, Paul Cristoforo, for that right there. Hold on, man. Let's see what Turtle Boy had to say. No, hold on. Hello. Oh, might want to watch my hearing tomorrow at 2. What is this, dude? Wait a second. Is this another domino right here? Let's see what he posted here. All right. Let's see what Turtle Boy posted here, because I'm quite curious, my friend. January 10th, 2024, meeting at DA's office in Canton with Brian Tully, Ken Mello, Pam Friedman, Nelson regarding my phone. I give my phone to Brian Tully and Nick Guarino for extraction of text between Aiden and I. They explained to me that Aiden will not get any information from my phone with the exception of any exculpatory evidence. But even then, there would need to be a Rule 17 hearing where his lawyer would have to prove that the information is relevant to the case, and that a reverse taint team would be assigned to go through my phone and protect any private irrelevant information. After being assured of this by both Ken Mello and Brian Tully, I signed an agreement and give them my phone. Who is this supposedly coming from? Meeting at Dedham Superior Court with Brian Tully and Ken Mello, Pam Friedman, and Nelson to go over grand jury instructions, where to meet, when, what time, what will happen. Okay. I'm a little lost. All right, says here the feds discovered Matthew Farwell texted Sandra Birchmore over 32,000 times, but when Nicholas Guarino did a full data extraction report of Farwell's phone, he didn't find a single text message. This is the same trooper who didn't find any of Jen McCabe's deleted phone calls or Google searches, and who testified that John O'Keefe's Apple Health data shows him going up and down flights of stairs because he was driving on a hilly street that wasn't actually hilly. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about what he didn't find in the fake victim's phone that what we did. Wow. Birchmore and Matthew Farwell exchanged approximately 32,709 text messages. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me see if I could find the... I don't have anything from Boston 10. Let me go straight to their website. I just don't want to miss this. All right. I have live NBC pulled up. NBC 10. The dominoes are starting to fall. Exactly. Thank you so much, Muzzy, for sure. Agreed. All right. So I've got the weather lady in my ear right now, but let me mute her because I don't give a shit what she has to say. Birchmore and Matthew Farwell exchanged approximately 32,709 text messages between December 2019, when she was 22, and her death, according to a search warrant affidavit prepared by State Police Lieutenant John Fanning. In the messages, investigators said they learned that Matthew Farwell allegedly began having sex with Birchmore in April 2013 and continued to do so through at least 2020. The messages showed Birchmore and, oh, Jesus, man, you know, I gotta say, okay, people, sorry, I gotta get rid of this. Gotta love Annie. All right. Got the press conference pulled up, folks. All right, so I guess we're just waiting for this to start. I think we got time.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Linda R. White. Yeah, we're gonna get back to Turtle Boy's tweets after the press conference, because I really can't wait to see what Turtle Boy's got to say, and I am really looking forward to his next live stream. Dude, you need to subscribe to Turtle Boy Live if you're not. Like, if you had doubts about the guy, come on. At this point, people, you need to get this man at 100,000 subs. Like, right now. Because, I mean, the dude called this shit. Brent, thank you for becoming a member. Guys, how long have we been waiting for this? You know what I mean? Like, how long have we been waiting to see Josh Levy address us publicly in regards to anything Michael Morrissey related? How long have you, who've been following Sandra Birchmore from the beginning, been waiting for this?
Good afternoon. On February 4th, 2021, Sandra Birchmore was found dead in her Canton, Massachusetts apartment. The charges filed today in federal court allege that she was in fact murdered by Matthew Farwell 3 days earlier.
Wow.
At the time of her death, Sandra Birchmore was a 23-year-old woman with her entire life ahead of her, and she was pregnant with her first child. We allege that Sandra Birchmore survived years of grooming, statutory rape, and then sexual violence, all at the hands of Matthew Farwell,
Wow.
who was employed throughout their relationship as an officer and then detective for the Stoughton Police Department. And when it became clear to Mr. Farwell that he could no longer control Sandra Birchmore, he allegedly silenced her permanently. This morning, Matthew Farwell was arrested on a federal grand jury indictment, charging him with one count of killing a witness or victim. Specifically, Mr. Farwell is charged with violating Title 18 United States Code 1512 for killing Sandra Birchmore with the intent of preventing her from communicating information about his possible commission of federal crimes. How did this all unfold? What happened here? Well, back in 2010, a 12-year-old Sandra Birchmore applied to join the Stoughton Police Department's Explorers Program, which introduces teens to policing. Officer Matthew Farwell was an instructor in that program. And as alleged in court documents, he befriended Sandra Birchmore, contacted her online, went to the library with her, became friends on Facebook, essentially groomed her. And then he committed statutory rape by having sex with her when he was a 27-year-old police officer and she was just 15 years old. Mr. Farwell continued to have a sexual relationship with Sandra Birchmore until her death 8 years later, allegedly meeting her for sex regularly when he was on duty and being paid by the Stoughton Police Department. Now, in the weeks leading up to Sandra Birchmore's death in February 2021, she found out that she was expecting a baby. And she told Mr. Farwell that he was the father. According to court documents, Ms. Birchmore was very excited about becoming a mother, buying baby clothes and other items, taking precautions to ensure the health of her new child. Sandra Birchmore had good friends. She had a good job. She had dreams of becoming a nurse, and she had a child on the way. But Mr. Farwell did not share in that excitement. It's alleged that Mr. Farwell reacted quite negatively to the news that Sandra Birchmore was pregnant with his child. And he acted angrily, it is alleged, when Sandra Birchmore started making requests of Mr. Farwell around doctor's appointments and ultrasounds and what information would be on the birth certificate. Mr. Farwell was losing control in late 2020, early 2021. And the information that Sandra Birchmore possessed about his illegal conduct was in danger of slipping out. In fact, word started to get out about their relationship. Less than 2 weeks before she was found dead, someone called the Stoughton Police Department and disclosed that Matthew Farwell had had a relationship with Sandra Birchmore. And when Mr. Farwell learned about that call, he became visibly angry. Mr. Farwell, it is alleged in these court papers, started to lose his patience, lose his temper, and the 6'4" Mr. Farwell started to be physically violent with 4'10" Sandra Birchmore. And Sandra Birchmore told her friends that Mr. Farwell had pushed her and shoved her and put her in a chokehold. She was scared. And during that same time, Mr. Farwell was allegedly planning Sandra Birchmore's murder. For the first time, he requested a key to her apartment. And she told friends that he was oddly inspecting the apartment and looking at the closet, including the closet that she was found dead in front of. And then it all came to a head on February 1st, 2021. Mr. Farwell went over to her apartment that evening, and he strangled Sandra Birchmore to death. That's the allegation in this case. And he used his knowledge and experience as a law enforcement officer to stage her death to look like a suicide.
Piece of shit.
He allegedly attempted to cover his tracks to literally try and get away with murder. And he almost did until today. Back in 2021, with the information that was available, Sandra Birchmore's death was ruled a suicide or deemed a suicide. But over the last year or so, the FBI and our office have been working exhaustively with our state partners. We've uncovered critical new information, examined the existing information, all of which led to this federal grand jury indictment. If convicted on this charge, Mr. Farwell faces a minimum of life imprisonment. Giving voice to the voiceless, ensuring that no one is above the law, protecting the vulnerable people of Massachusetts, that's the highest calling of people in law enforcement. And this case represents those principles And every day across Massachusetts, thousands of police officers, federal, state, local law enforcement, put their lives on the line to protect the people of Massachusetts. Mr. Farwell violated those principles, and now he faces very grave consequences. It is disheartening to have to charge law enforcement officers, especially with crimes as serious. But it's our job at the Department of Justice to investigate potential crimes without fear and without favor. We do in this office what we've been doing for decades with our federal partners like the FBI. We follow the facts, regardless of where they lead. We apply the law and the principles of federal prosecution. Full stop.
Fuck yeah.
We are not influenced by social media chatter. We're not influenced by politics. We're influenced by the facts and the law. Our mission is to do our level best to do justice in every case. And our mission today is to do justice for Sandra Birchmore. Lastly, I want to note that we are sharing the information and the evidence that we developed in this case with the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, with the Massachusetts State Police, and with the Massachusetts Attorney General's Office, so they can assess whether state charges may be warranted in this situation. I want to thank those three agencies. I also want to thank the Stoughton Police Department for their assistance in our investigation. Lastly, I want to commend
you see what he's doing there, right?
The men of the FBI Boston and Lakeville for their incredible work on this case. This was a dogged investigation. And as you look at the court papers, you'll see exactly how much work has gone into this matter. A huge credit to them. And I particularly want to thank the members of my office, the office I'm proud to lead, the victim witness advocates, paralegals, the chief of our human trafficking and civil rights unit, Liz Riley, assistant United States attorneys, Tori Cummings and Brian Fogarty. This case doesn't happen without their passion for justice. They deserve the credit, not me. Now I want to turn it over to Steve Kelleher, the assistant special agent in charge of FBI Boston.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Kelleher, assistant special agent in charge of FBI Boston. At approximately 10:45 a.m. this morning, the FBI arrested former Stoughton police officer Matthew Farwell for allegedly taking the life of Sandra Birchmore in order to ensure her silence. The FBI SWAT team took him into custody at a shopping plaza in Revere without incident. Immediately following his arrest, we shared this significant development with Sandra's family. We know it does not ease their pain, but hopefully it answers some of their questions.
Fuck yeah.
Simply put, this case is about seeking justice for Sandra, who we believe was killed by Matthew Farwell after he allegedly groomed and sexually abused her when she was just 15 years old, violating her body and her civil rights. It's also about keeping Mr. Farwell from getting away with murder and from harming anyone else. We in law enforcement are entrusted with immense authority because our decisions can have life-changing consequences, both good and bad. To temper that power, we must adhere to the highest of ethical standards. What we believe Officer Matthew Farwell did, as outlined in today's indictment, is depraved and a gross betrayal of his sworn oath and the public's trust. Let me be clear. Matthew Farwell's gun and badge did not grant him authority to violate the Constitution. And it certainly didn't entitle him to sexually exploit, abuse, and rape a child before killing her and her unborn baby in an attempt to cover up his alleged crimes.
This is the greatest
What's
press
also troubling
conference
is
ever.
we believe Matthew Farwell staged Sandra's body and her apartment to make it look like she had died by suicide. In the days that followed, this sworn police officer repeatedly lied to Massachusetts State Police investigators about the nature of their relationship. It's a stark contrast to the sheer excitement and pure joy that Sandra felt when she told Farwell that she was expecting his child, texting him a photo of a poster she had made celebrating the pregnancy. Our investigation also uncovered additional evidence that is inconsistent with someone choosing to die by suicide. In the hours leading up to Sandra's death, she reached out to a photographer to inquire about booking a newborn photo shoot. She also reached out to a friend about obtaining baby clothes. And at the time that she was in the middle of doing laundry when she died, with a load in the washing machine and another one in the dryer. There's no question this was a complex investigation, and our work is not done. Our agents, analysts, and financial investigators reviewed tens of thousands of text messages, emails, and financial records, conducted dozens of interviews with family, friends, and experts, and analyzed the crime scene. We urge anyone with information about the circumstances surrounding Sandra's death to contact the FBI. Committing murder to eliminate victims and witnesses is heinous, and it shakes the very core of our justice system, which depends on people truthfully testifying to what they know. Today's arrest shows that anyone who tries to interfere and retaliate against victims and witnesses in an attempt to subvert the rule of law will have to answer for it. After all, the public's trust is critical for our justice system to function properly. That's why the FBI will do everything in its power to bring to justice anyone who tries to undermine that trust. Our hearts go out to Sandra, to the Birchmore family, and all who knew and loved Sandra. On behalf of the FBI, I want to thank them for their cooperation, patience, perseverance, and fortitude. I also want to thank our agents and analysts for their hard work and dedication, Acting U.S. Attorney Josh Levy and his team for their partnership, and both Chief McNamara of the Stoughton Police Department and Colonel Mon with the Massachusetts State Police for their assistance in helping us move this investigation forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Take some questions.
Josh, why did it take so long to go from suicide to finding suicide to now murder?
Well, I think when you have a chance to look through the court papers, you'll see how exhaustive this investigation is. Obviously, this is an incredibly serious charge. There was a lot of forensics and other evidence that had to be marshaled, expert witnesses, et cetera. So we move as fast as we can, and we also have a duty to get it right.
Was there a rush to find a suicide because this involved a police officer?
Yeah, our office wasn't involved in the initial determination of a suicide, so I can't speak to that.
You mentioned your office got involved about a year ago. What prompted that?
Yeah, we get
You can't speak
leads
to it
on
yet,
cases all
but
the
I bet
time
you it'll
from
come
all
up when he
different sources.
indicts
I don't
Michael
have to
Morrissey.
comment on how we get information on how we got into this one.
As you said initially, this was considered a suicide, but it seems like there's a plethora of evidence to suggest otherwise. Surveillance, text messages. How was that all missed for the first 2 years?
Yeah, I'm only in a position to comment on what we've done on this investigation. Those questions are not something I'm able to answer to.
Dirty cops.
We like I said in my comments, we started pulling this string and followed the evidence and got new evidence to put together the case we put together today.
What evidence tipped you off?
I'm sorry, sir?
What evidence led you to...
I love this question.
You know, you're never able to pick one piece of evidence that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's really an accumulation. We have to go in front of a jury, 12 citizens, and convince them.
What brought you to this? What piece of evidence brought you there?
That's on us. He's presumed innocent today, and he will remain innocent until we meet that burden. But it's all the evidence in combination makes that case.
Did the state medical examiner's office plan to change the cause of death on her birth certificate, and did you determine who the father of her unborn baby was?
Well, I'll take those in reverse order. I'm not going to comment on the second piece. What we have alleged in the court papers is that Ms. Birchmore told Mr. Farwell several times that he was the father. And your question about the state medical examiner, obviously, they don't report to me, and that's a question better directed to the state medical examiner.
Matthew is mentioned here, but we've heard reports over the years of several other officers. Have you guys conducted any other ongoing investigations related to something?
So I think Assistant Special Agent Charge Kelleher alluded to the fact this is an ongoing investigation.
Kevin
I'm not gonna
Albert.
comment on what the other pieces are that we're looking into, but it's
Lank.
an active investigation. Shelley.
This is a death penalty eligible case. Is that on the table, or is that already off the table?
So Shelley, you're absolutely correct. The maximum penalty under this statute as charged is a sentence of death. And whether to seek the death penalty in a federal case is decided at the highest levels of the Department of Justice. That decision has not been made on whether the death penalty we sought in this case, and that process will continue, but I can't comment on it beyond that.
Would you favor that?
Not going to comment on it. It's a process that involves a lot of people at the Department of Justice, and I'm not going to share my view on this.
Did other officers in Stoughton or Stoughton government know about the underage sexual contact that Matthew Farwell was having with Sandra when it was going on in those early 2010, 11, 12, 13?
You know, I'm not going to comment on information that's not in the public record. As you heard, this is an ongoing matter, so we're going to continue to look into this matter. And if there's other individuals that we develop evidence they've violated the federal law, we'll proceed.
Josh, can you touch on? I mean, murder state usually is the one that handles murder charges. Obviously, feds have jurisdiction on many cases, but what made this one get to federal authorities? And do you think that the state officials watched this investigation?
You know, there's a lot of overlap in the law between the federal government has jurisdiction over what the state government has jurisdiction.
He doesn't want to give away the rest
When
of his
someone comes to our office
investigation.
with credible information that a police officer may have been involved in a murder and underlying
The press is trying to get him
legal
to speak on
violations
it.
as set forth in the indictment, we're going to investigate that case every time. and they come in different shapes and sizes, but that is our duty to the public, is to pursue credible leads like that and investigate them fully.
To follow up on her question, we saw Lieutenant Toledo said earlier, this was Norfolk case first. You mentioned that they've been state partners throughout this. Does your office look into what may have went wrong in their investigation?
This case about what went wrong for Sandra Birchmore,
They're trying,
and how she was treated by Matthew Farwell, and how he violated her rights and ultimately killed her.
they're trying to trick him
It's not
into
about what happens at other state agencies. This is about justice
talking
for Sandra
about
Birchmore.
the cops involved into the Karen Reed case too.
Come to a different conclusion than Norfolk County DA. I'm sure you can't comment on that, but is that normal for federal prosecutors and state prosecutors to reach different conclusions on investigations?
So I'm here to talk about one case. We got about 1,000 cases in the office. I'm not going to comment on any other case in the office. I would just caution you to not extrapolate too much from one case out of all the things that are happening in our office.
This district has brought a charge of killing of a witness. I can't think of the others. I'm wondering if there are others.
Yeah. I don't know the answer. That's a question. That's an answer we could get for you, but I don't know the answer to it, Shelley. We bring charges of obstruction of justice frequently, as you know, but I'm not pulling one off the top of my head that matches this.
I mean, they basically asked him if they're looking into how the investigation was conducted in the first place. Basically under Michael Morrissey's office.
I'm not in a position to comment on things that are in the public record. That I wouldn't take that as yes or no. But I'm limited up here under local rules to talk about what's in the public record. I'm going to ask ASAC Kelleher to speak to that.
Yeah.
So this morning we had a SWAT team that was in a location where Mr. Farwell was. He was taken into custody. He was driving a truck, gravel hauler, and he was safely taken into custody by the SWAT team, which is, what we strive to achieve every time we do an operation like this. No, he was in Revere.
Nothing in neighborhood in Revere, was he on the highway?
No, it was in a shopping plaza in Revere.
Did he say anything?
We have not tried to interview him.
Is that dump truck you're driving? Is that a new employment?
Again, I wouldn't comment on that here at this time, but he was driving the dump truck when he was arrested.
Why was he driving a dump truck?
Investigating this, can we expect to see any fallout from those lead investigators from other agencies who were responsible for finding justice in this case?
I think the juncture we're at right now is that we are working with state agencies. We've developed, as I said, new information that we're going to share with our state partners. They're going to make decisions about what charges are appropriate under state law, if any.
Can you tell us who the lead investigator was in this case before your agency got involved?
I can tell you the lead investigator was for our matter, which was the FBI. I don't know. I honestly don't have information on who the lead was in a state investigation.
They're trying, man. I got to give it to these reporters.
You're looking just to investigate the Birchmore's death, that's the focus of this case, not what law enforcement agencies prior to you did. Is that within your jurisdiction to investigate what those state agencies did?
I think what I said was I'm here to talk about Sandra Birchmore, and I'm not here to talk about other things that are happening in the United States Attorney's
Wow.
Office. It's 125 federal.
They're
prosecutors doing
pressing
a lot
it,
of
man.
different
They're
things.
pushing.
In this case, this press conference is about one young woman who we allege, was killed by a Stoughton police officer, Matthew Farwell.
Saying how your investigation might be complicated by the fact that you're going now into federal court where there is this NE found that it was suicide, the Norfolk County DA's office did not pursue it. How does that affect your efforts now to prosecute?
Yep. Good question. Look, in evaluating whether to bring charges, we obviously look at all the evidence that's both incriminating and exculpatory. All that gets turned over to defense lawyers. Mr. Farwell will be well represented in this case, and those facts will be put out in front of a jury. We are confident that when all the evidence is presented to a jury, if it gets that far, that those issues will not prevent us from securing a conviction.
Have you done your own person do an autopsy?
We
come to a different conclusion. I know there's another one out there that's already been reported on.
That's correct. There's an expert witness. I don't want to get into exactly what that person did or didn't because I don't want to mischaracterize it, but it's in the court documents. Who has a tremendous amount of experience in this field and has reached a different conclusion.
Just a couple more questions. And just to be clear, you're not going to comment on the
That's correct.
How unusual is it for a police officer to be charged with a capital offense involving sexual crime?
It's unusual in my experience. I don't have a full handle on how often this has been done nationwide, but it's an unusual situation. And that's partly why it's so incredibly disturbing.
What else? Do you have any words of caution to departments that have police explorer programs based on what you learned from your investigation about how this was able to unfold?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to my swim lane. I'm not an expert on police explorer programs, and so I really don't have any intelligent answer to that question.
Thank you.
All right, so that's it. Let me see if I can do this real quick, folks. Oh man, come on. Why won't it do that? Okay. All right, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Why can't I? Oh. Yeah, get out of there. Excuse me.
Have to think that you're going to be able to get away with that. But then my question for you, Aiden, is if the Karen Reed case hadn't been blown up for the last few years, would he have gotten away with this?
No, I think that the Reed case coupled with Kirk Minahan's podcast, The Case, because Kirk Minahan did an amazing deep dive into this. I mean, I took it at its face value that it was a suicide at first. I didn't really think much of it or think to look into it. He thought it didn't smell right, and so he launched a Barstool Sports podcast called The Case that did a deep dive into it, and it convinced me, and I think it convinced a lot of other people. And then you couple that with the Reed case, and you see the overlap here, and you're like, oh my God, you can't trust police. Like I trusted police. I don't really trust. I'll never blindly trust anyone again. Never mind just police officers, but we should all be skeptical. So yeah, I definitely think the Reed case had a lot to do with it. It happened in the same town. It's the same district attorney's office. A lot of the same cops are involved in this. And so I definitely, and that's why when I watched this press conference today with Josh Levy, I hope that Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert are watching this because they're next.
Yeah.
They're not going to let people get away with this. Matthew Farwell got away with this for over 3 years. Right. And it's been, it's only been 2 years for the people who murdered John O'Keefe, and their day is coming too.
Is there anything else, Turtle Boy, that you want people to take away from the news today that maybe isn't getting enough attention or, take away from this press conference?
No, I mean, just we're going to, like I said, tune in tomorrow, 2:00 for my hearing in Norfolk Superior Court. We have more information coming on deleted text messages and other information by one Nicholas Garino, the same expert who testified that Jennifer McCabe's Google search didn't happen. I mean, this is what these people do. They provide cover for killers. They're just as bad as the people who did it, and they should all be in federal prison.
Turtle Boy, let people know where they can follow you on social media, where they can read your stuff, and where they can just keep up on all of these updates involving whether it be Karen Reed or Sandra Birchmore.
Yeah, at Dr. Turtle Boy on Twitter or tbdailynews.com.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be right back. We are talking with Bill Broussard. It is Mechanic Monday on a Wednesday, and we'll take all your car questions, but a really, really big news day. And I hope that if you were tuning in and you were getting these updates live here at the Grace Curley Show, I hope we were able to set the scene.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Big round of applause for Aiden there. And for Mizzy, who's in the chat right now. Mizzy, how did we communicate last time? I'll send Cherry a link to the stream, and if you want to jump up here, you are invited. Because this is a great day. People, there has been no one louder and has fought more tenaciously than Mizzy when it comes to the Sandra Birchmore case. I don't think that anybody in this chat would dispute that. And so I would be honored to give her a platform to speak out on this. Thank you, Buzzing for Truth. And then I missed one up here. Piney Woods Law and Crime, thank you so much for covering this. I'm proud the Department of Justice brought this case. Justice for Sandra and her baby. Justice for John O'Keefe, Karen Reed, soon. Agreed. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, of course. That was amazing. Oh my God. Tatiana Montiero, thank you so much. Dismantling Norfolk County one by one. Justice for Sandra Birchmore and Officer John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed. Agreed. Man, this is the dopest day that I've been on YouTube in a long time. This is a great day. I'm so mostly happy for those of you who have been really invested in this for so long. I've gotten to know some of you, and I just, knowing your hearts, this happening for you guys, that's all I can think about, honestly. It's this happening for you guys who have been pushing for this and standing out there and doing these standouts and right now my heart is completely yours. My heart is completely yours right now, all of you. Thank you so much, Team Casio. Today is a good day. Thank you, Mizzy, for advocating Sandra. So yeah, I sent Cherry the link, and Mizzy should be joining us in just a few minutes. She wants to fix her face because she was in tears, of course, hearing this. I mean, that was that was by far the greatest press conference that I've ever covered on this live. I've never. That was beautiful. It was amazing. P.S. I've done most of my trials, civil rights in federal court. If you want any legal commentary, thanks for your hard work. Thank you, Piney Woods Law and Crime. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh man, I don't know if he'll get bail, man. This is Mike S., member for 9 months. Justice is coming. Agreed. Yeah, Josh Levy is the man. Paul Cristoforo, man, dude, big shout out to Paul Cristoforo too, man. You know how many standouts this guy's organized, man? You guys are the heroes here. Seriously, you guys are the real heroes here. Josh Levy, yes, U.S. Attorney's Office, FBI, absolutely heroes. But you guys talking about this and keeping this out there as much as you have, dude, that's massive, man. You have no idea how grateful I am to be a part of this right now. Jamie Fearing, thank you, Will, for giving a voice to these women like Karen Reed and Sandra. We need more men like you and Turtle Boy in this world. It is so clear that your heart is in this. We love you. Thank you so much, Jamie. It means a lot. Thanks, Will and Cherry, little Irish girl. We love you. I am happy to hear the news with you all. Right. Miss Shorty, member for 2 months. Finally, they're saying her name, and Miss Shorty has a channel as well. She's our friend from down under. Oh man, wild, man, dude. Like it was great, dude. I'm telling you, how dope was it to hear him dodge? The thing is we're gonna break this down. Like, I'm gonna go over that press conference again, and I'm gonna break down a bunch of shit. Thank you so much. His life in prison will be hell. Mark Callahan, I agree. Dude, Tom CPU, man, out there all the time, filming the shit, going live, showing everybody. Like, this is the most dopest thing that I've ever been a part of in my life, dude. I can't thank you guys enough for welcoming me into it. Like, seriously, it's the most inspiring shit in the world. Fanning was the lead investigator in Sandra Birchmore death. He was also the lead for the death of Justin Root. Exactly. Yeah, Justin Root is next, man. Suicide by cop, truth matters. Wow. I need to get into that case too, man. I don't know enough about that case. I know the meat and potatoes of it. Flipperhead. Guys gotta love Flipperhead, dude. Videos are great. Yo, Glare, just checking in. My bed was listening to Jake's son's music. I mean, dude, that dude's videos, man, for real. That dude's videos, like, what he does is he just like tweets a rant. Listen to the lyrics. He tweets a rant and then he puts it into an AI program, and then the AI program just writes a song. Like, hey, write a country music song with these lyrics, or some shit. It's so pathetic. I'm from the state of mass corruption. Thank you so much. Thanks, Will, for all the coverage of these scumbags. One down, totally. Oh my goodness, people. All right. If I miss any, I apologize here. Kylo Bear, thank you so much. The good guys got a win today. Calamity Jade, thank you so much. You missed 29th Glare anniversary. When Josh said full stop, love you, Cherry. Thank you for everything. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, people. Oh my goodness. Hold on. There we go. We can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm muted? No, I'm
We got Mizzy peep.
Hey. How's it going?
How are you feeling right now?
I don't know. I can't even express
how long? Give us a time frame. How many years, months have you been working on this to put this out there for everyone?
I started looking into her case in 2002, but it was kind of just popping on, looking at stuff and waiting for some movement.
Not 2002.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
When the
2022. Okay.
Sorry, my mind is not with it. So if I say some crazy stuff,
neither is mine.
And you guys get to see my gross, crazy painted nails because I didn't have time to fix my fingers.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm telling you, you've never looked better to anybody right now. I'm telling you.
Thank you. In 2022 September, they dropped the report, and that's when I started following the case, but I didn't start working on it till about February 2023. I started the page, I believe, in early March. And then we hit the ground running from then, just trying to get people to pay attention. I have a little bit of a funny story, and I was talking to my mom about it. So I got to look at the dates. I'm not sure when I sent the message, but I sent Josh Levy an email.
Okay.
And I heard back from them. And they said, we don't cover, we're not a lawyer, like, because I was just like, you guys need to look into the Sandra Birchmore case, and I just went on and on about her, and I didn't even say really much about me. I did say I'm a content creator, and I've been covering her case, and there's something wrong here, and so I got a message back, and they were basically kind of like, yeah, kid,
Right.
and but they were like being weird about it. They were like, so we don't handle, like, that's something you need to get a lawyer for. And I'm like, and me and my personality and my temper, I shot off this email, but it was probably the best writing I ever did. And
Okay.
I was like, this isn't about me. This is about a young woman that was possibly murdered. She was groomed by cops. And I just I just listed it, everything.
Nice.
And I actually sent it to her cousin Barb. And I was like, I just that just flowed through my body. It was like an outer body experience writing that. And I did a quick proofread, and it looked really good. And I hit send, and I was like, oh Lord, what did I just do? And I'm wondering if that didn't light a bit of a fire. I'm not taking, it's just weird because the timing's weird, because he said about a year, and it's been probably about a year since I sent that email.
Now, I've had you up here before.
Yes.
And so, but just for the people who did not catch that, tell us a little bit about how you got into this. What lit that spark in you to look into this and then feel the need to send that email to Josh Levy's office?
Well, the second I saw when they dropped the report, and Sandra, like, the news were broadcasting about it, and I was like, her friend was talking, and I was like, she was murdered. Like, I felt like her friend was talking to me, and I was like, and I was talking back because I was talking to my TV, because I often do that because I'm a little cuckoo. So I said back to the TV, your friend was murdered. And I kept looking at the case, and nothing, there was no movement. Nobody was doing anything. There was hardly any articles being written. And I was like, this is crazy. Because even if you put aside her murder, which I never want to do, but the abuse portion of it, why weren't they being charged for that? And my friend, whose son was also murdered, she got interviewed by the guys from the case, and she said to me, hey, what's up with that Sandra Birchmore case? And I was shocked that she knew about it, because nobody knew about it. And she said the guys from the case just did a podcast on it, and she knew them from interviewing with them. And I was like, so her and I went back and forth for a few weeks, and just looked into as much as we could on the surface. Like, I read the report, I was clipping parts of the report, and we were going back and forth with it, with Sarah and I. And we were just like, something's messed up here. And we were just like, we were looking into how much she would have made as a teacher, how much her apartment was. I did a virtual tour of the apartment and everything. And and Sarah's the one who.
Oh, we lost her. I'm sorry about that, guys. Oh, here she is. Hold on. There you are. You're back.
Sorry, I think my internet's whacking out again. She said, if you do the Facebook page, I will do the petition. And it was like, I was off and running from there, just building an audience. And slowly, very slowly, her cousin Barbara, she's been my partner in this. She's like my silent partner, because she's not allowed to be out front.
Okay.
So we've just been, trying to get people to listen. And we finally have started getting people to listen. And I can't tell you how much my phone has blown up today. Like, I'm getting so many messages right now. I'm seeing like alert.
Oh man, I'm so grateful that I got you to come talk to me, because you're going to be talked to by everyone. I mean, if there's any justice in the world, people are going to hear what you have to say about Sandra Birchmore now. And we're all behind you. We all have your back. So Mizzy, we love you and all the hard work you've put into this.
I love you guys all too. Hearts to you guys, because
you're amazing.
I would be screaming into the wind if I didn't have people who would come along with me. Like, I know Scott McGinnis is in the chat. He's always her a lot in chats, and he comes to all the standouts, you know, and he's a trooper. He goes to all the Karen Reed ones. So he's everywhere. And he's been a really big supporter. You know, my team, Trisha, Suzanne, obviously Barb, she's my partner, and oh my God, Annie, you know, we've all been working together to get stuff done and you know, doing the standouts and get her name out there. We all have our little spots in it, and I'm just so thankful everybody is supporting, and there's more support jumping on right now. And this is only the first step. This is just charges. You know, we need the other 2 charged, and we need him to go to jail. So this is like the first, very, very first step.
This is just the conceptual phases, people. But remember, I mean, now I'm pretty sure you're with me on this, Mizzy. I got faith in Josh Levy's office. I got faith in the FBI. I got faith in the U.S. Attorney's office due to their record, you know, and I felt good about his confidence when given that press conference. I tell you, I did you get goosebumps? I mean, I
was sitting because I was trying to find it on TV, and I didn't know you were live. So I was like watching it on my phone, and my mom wants to watch her soap opera, and I'm like, can you give me a minute? So I was like, Ma, you got to listen too. You've been in on this, because I go and tell her, like, I'll go into the room and be like, blah, 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 and she'll be like, okay, sweetie, you know, like listening to everything that's going on, and I'm as you can see, my ADHD is like overload right now. I'm like all over the place. If I could, I would be doing cartwheels around the room right now. I
gotta talk to you, because my ADHD, man, I let it cripple me, dude. I wish I could get half as done at what you get done. Like I'm a mess. If you got ADHD and you're doing everything that you've done, jeez.
And being disabled, so I'm like, this is sleeping in between migraines and all that. Like, you know, it's because this became. I made Sandra a promise. I told her that I adopted her as my little sister, and I fight for family, and I'm not gonna let this go.
I love it.
So.
I love it, Mizzy. You are an inspiration.
Thank you.
This is the dopest thing that I've ever been even remotely a part of on YouTube. Like, this is easily the most rewarding time I've ever had on YouTube, as far as just my heart filling on a constant basis, and being around people like you, and being around people like Scott McGinnis and Tom CPU and, you know, Turtle Boy, and just everyone, man. Like, it is just amazing to see everyone just relentlessly fighting for justice, and just this first bite, you know, is
I said to Barb, because we were talking earlier on the phone, I said, you know, that was just actually I texted this to a lieutenant in the Stoughton PD. He said, congratulations, it's about time. And I said, this is the first step. We are just beginning. It's like we were warming up for the game, and now we're in the big leagues. Because before it was just the warm up. We were just practicing. Now we need to keep pressure, because we want the other 2 charged for what their role in this, not just her death, but the abuse of Sandra. So we're in.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Huh?
Yes.
Isn't that nice? Oh, we lost her again. She'll be back, and just there she is. Yeah. How does that feel? Seeing that right there.
That's
full
all
tactical gear
ever.
Why was he driving a dump truck? Can you shed some light on this?
Yeah, when he got let go, or when he quit, that was, what else could he do? You know, nobody wants a guy who's being investigated for sexually assaulting a 15-year-old.
So he's a trash man, or
basically. he's hauling gravel. They said, like, we knew he had a trucking business, but we couldn't figure out what he was trucking. So I guess he's, rocks.
Okay.
He can go kick
Okay.
now.
Yeah, well, he can't even do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, homie, like you're going to jail, bro.
They
Like,
say no bail. No bail. That would be
no
sweet.
bail. Oh, we gotta like, well, we have to keep our eye open for what
Yeah,
what any
unfortunately,
updates.
federal
'Cause he
does
is-
not put it out. So federal, you can't get a camera.
Right. No, yeah, we won't see his trial, unfortunately. But we will obviously we'll be keeping updates and following step by step. I mean, now hopefully he just pleads guilty, you know?
I'm hoping.
Yeah. I mean, the death penalty's on the table.
It
so
It is.
So hopefully he smartens up and he pulls a Chris Watson, just says, okay, I'll do life. That's fine.
Or they could offer him a deal to go get some other people.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I said, I don't know who else.
Maybe this is what they had in mind in the first place. Maybe this is all part of a web of strategy on Josh Levy's part.
Part of it, I think, is they were going to get a lot of stuff in the civil trial this week. So I think they moved before they got all that information. I think that's what it is.
You got a minute? Can you hang out a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, go ahead. I'm gonna go over a couple of other things too. Oh, we got more pictures too.
Oh, good.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh, there's a little kid in that picture though. I'm not showing that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, not in this one though. Hold on.
Please don't tell me he had a kid with him.
Well, why isn't it opening? There, yeah, he did have his kid with him. Yeah, the other, it just won't even open, so I don't even know why it won't do that.
I feel bad for the kid.
There we go. Hold on. Yeah, this one doesn't have his kid in the picture. But this was clearly a very tactical operation.
Yeah.
But it looks like he had his kid with him.
Wow.
Yeah. This is crazy. Hold on. I wanted to go over I before the press conference started, I was going over something Turtle Boy posted here.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go over that. Might as well do that while I have you up here. The feds discovered that Matthew Farwell, I keep saying his name wrong, texted Sandra Birchmore over 32,000 times, but when Nicholas Guarino did a full data extraction report of Farwell's phone, he didn't find a single text message. This is the same trooper who didn't find any of Jen McCabe's deleted phone calls or Google searches, who testified that John O'Keefe's Apple Health data shows him going up and down flights of stairs because he was driving on a hilly street that wasn't hilly. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about what he didn't find in the fake victim's phone that we did. It says here, Birchmore, Matthew Farwell exchanged approximately 32,709 text messages between December 2019, when she was 22, and her death, according to a search affidavit prepared by State Police Lieutenant John Fanning. In the messages, investigators said they learned that Matthew Farwell allegedly began having sex with Birchmore in April 2013 and continued to do so through at least 2020. The messages showed Birchmore and Matthew Farwell coordinating plans to meet clandestinely at a hotel Costco, Birchmore's family home in Stoughton, and her apartment in Canton, Fanning wrote. Investigators didn't find any communications between Matthew Farwell and Birchmore on his phone. State police records show he told troopers he deleted all their messages after he left her apartment on February 1st, 2021. So yeah, this is important to point out here because
And there's a lot more than that. I believe there were about 50,000 messages between the whole, between Sandra and in total with Matthew, William, and Robert Devine.
wow.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting. Like a lot of people couldn't hear it. I'll do a breakdown in another live stream on the press conference, but it was hard to hear because the reporters who were asking questions weren't mic'd.
Yeah.
But you could tell that they were very much pressing to find out a little bit more about the Michael Morrissey investigation.
Yeah.
They knew if they just blurted out Michael Morrissey, they're going to get shut down. So they were very strategically asking questions, trying to basically just kind of dip their toes in the water, so to speak, as far as like, you know what I mean? Asking very softly about what about other investigators? What about the investigators who investigated Sandra Birchmore initially, and it was ruled a suicide? And he can't discuss that. I actually found it refreshing personally that he wouldn't discuss that because there's ongoing investigations going on. He doesn't want to speak on an ongoing investigation. So when they shut down, they go, we're not here to talk about that. Just Sandra Birchmore. That's it. That leads me to believe, I don't know about you, but it leads me to believe that they are in a position to where they are not at liberty to disclose
Absolutely.
anything about that because it would disclose information on an ongoing investigation.
Absolutely. I believe this is the first domino to fall.
Yeah, me too.
I think they had to move in now because these guys were about to get a lot of information.
Right. Agreed. And I wonder, I just thought of this. I wonder, just a few days ago, Karen Reed changed her profile picture to the letter that was sent to Michael Morrissey's office from Josh Levy's office about how they don't agree with him, that there's no reason to investigate, and that the investigation is ongoing and they see no reason for it not to be.
Yeah.
And she changed this to her profile picture. I wonder if the timing is a coincidence. I wonder if she knew something, if her camp knew something about this before all of us.
Possibly. They might have had a little bit of a hint. I don't know. I'm not, privy to that, but,
Right.
I mean, I've put it out there a bunch of times that I'm thankful that she has stood up and fought, because her standing up against these men, because it's mostly men that she's going against in the Morrissey's office.
Yeah.
This pint-sized little woman is standing up against them, saying, I'm not going to back down. And because of that, I've been able to dovetail off of, Karen's case. And
that is true. I mean, not so many words, but one hand washes the other. You know what I mean? Definitely these two cases have brought light to each other. That is absolutely fact. And what's really interesting to me, I'm going to get a little deeper, just speak from my heart here, because, that it just seems like this is the truth and justice working its way out, working itself out, right. It just seems that way. It just seems, you see, everybody is, and the true thing to really focus on here is the fact that it's nobody else's real doing except Michael Morrissey himself. If he hadn't done his wrongdoings, none of this would be coming back to bite him in the ass. And different cases that he has prosecuted over and investigated, been in charge of investigations. I mean, now these things are coming together. You used the same investigators. There's going to be a microscope on every investigator who had anything in common with Sandra Birchmore and Karen Reed, John O'Keefe. That's there's no way around it. It's just happening, and it's going to have to. It's coming up the pipe in the sense that it's going to get to the investigators, and then who the investigators were answering to themselves.
Yep.
It's going to go up.
You know, Michael Morrissey's quaking in his boots right now.
Right.
You know, they all thought, oh, yeah, the FBI is investigating. Oh, they were investigating. They were investigating.
Totally. And how dope was it when he said, we hope that, you know, the state police and that these law enforcement agencies will find reason to indict now. You know, it was a very professional yet very not so subtle little jab. Like, you guys didn't do your jobs the first time, but we're handing it to you on a silver platter. I wonder what you'll do now.
But did you notice he didn't mention that office? He said he said somebody higher up in the state police. So I think it was the state police that were working with the attorney general. So because he didn't say Morrissey, he didn't say Morrissey's office. He said somebody else. So I think it's the state police that's dispatched to the attorney general's office. That's what I've been suspecting for a long time.
So, wow. So, okay. All right.
That's speculating. That's only me speculating.
Sure. But it makes sense.
It's
wow.
Because they know what's going on in Norfolk County. So they're not going to, if they couldn't even get an answer to their letter, they're looking into them. They're not going to work with them. You know, I mean, they will if something totally different came up, because, you know, they have to, as law enforcement agencies, they have to. But
that's what I mean is I wonder, like, if they're calling them out to cooperate, you know, like, are you, you know, what are you going to do? Like, think about it. If they're under investigation, how do you weasel out of that? You have to help them. You have to, you have to do your job. If the U.S. Attorney's Office is investigating you and then they call you out and go, I wonder what you'll do now. We hope that you'll. So, I mean, but it does also make sense that it's, you know, the U.S. Attorney's Office, or I'm sorry, the
Attorney General's office.
Attorney General's office. Thank you. Sorry.
But also on top of it, think of it this way too. Now this puts pressure on people like Proctor to run to the FBI now, because it's scary now. Oh, you're arresting police officers? I'm not going.
Right.
I didn't hurt John O'Keefe. I'm not.
That's
going
also.
that.
That's an excellent point as well, because it's not just Farwell that is capable of talking and giving things away. It's people who Farwell knows that they have in common that, you know what I mean, that worked both the Karen Reed case and the Sandra Birchmore case, and if any, they all have something to lose. If they're all dirty, they all have something to lose.
Fanning right now, if I was
taking a shit,
I would contact the FBI right now.
Fanning and Lank are shitting in their pants right now, Mizzy.
Yep.
I mean, and Kevin Albert probably is too. If not all of the McAlberts. I mean, if I was Jen McCabe, I'd be shitting myself right now. You know, I mean, this is wild, Mizzy. This is a great day. This is a great day.
A wonderful day.
Absolutely. You're fantastic. And again, I got to tell you, I think I speak for everyone here in the chat when I say how grateful I am to you for everything that you've done. And your hard work and your relentless pursuit for justice for this young woman. You're amazing. I'm so honored to get to talk to you, and I can't wait to see what you and Microdots have in the works. This
oh my God, we gotta have we gotta really get working now. Like,
I was gonna say, does this mess up any of the work you've already done, or does it add to what? Does it give you?
So now it's like, dude,
it gives us more to look forward to,
it's
right?
Like, dude, we really gotta get going.
Right on. So. Yeah. So I'm stoked about that. I'm so stoked. So yeah, everybody be on the lookout for that. And we've got the Justice for Sandra Birchmore website is pinned, and the Facebook group is pinned. So make sure if you guys are on those platforms, if you're on Facebook, to join the group, share it. Get everybody on board. Let's because now we need more eyes than ever.
Yeah.
Now we need more eyes than ever. Now we need to follow up and make sure and put the right public pressure to make sure that this man is prosecuted and that he's held accountable, and that the other people who are who are accountable should be quaking in their boots. They should be scared out of their fucking minds. So that's all going to depend on us and how much we continue to talk about it. So make sure, guys, to share that website. Make sure to share that Facebook page. Make sure to join and get involved, guys. You guys are absolutely fantastic, man. Thank you, Mizzy, so much for everything.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody. It's an awesome day.
Yes, Mizzy, you're amazing.
Christmas.
Everyone soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dude, people, today is amazing. Let's check Twitter real quick. For any updates. All right, so okay, so 4 minutes. Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara was inside the courtroom for Matthew Farwell's arraignment. She should be coming out to speak with the media. Okay, so we're gonna keep an eye on that, folks. We're not done here yet. Damn, I would have left Mizzy up here if I had known that. Wow. This is just fantastic. You guys are absolutely amazing, man. I am so happy for every one of you who have been out there. Here, let me show this real quick. Paul Cristoforo just sent this to me. Some good folks out there standing out. I recognize Jen. There is, yeah. This is just fantastic. I love this. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Oh, shit. Wait a second. Who is that? Smoothie Goosey just sent this to me. Is that coming out of the courtroom right now? No, man. Oh, Fanning and Tully. That's Fanning and Tully. Oh, shit. That's Fanning and Tully, people. And he pled not guilty. Hold on. Let me take another look here. Let me take another look here, folks. All right. So Sleuthy says that he pled not guilty. Wow. This is just fucking wild, man. I wonder what they were doing in there. All right. So, yeah, I got to see is there media going to cover the arraignment, like outside of the arraignment? Because that's what I'm really looking for is yeah, I'm just trying to find if there's going to be a press conference outside of the arraignment. Okay. All right. I need to find out who's going to be streaming that. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is massive, people. This is a big deal, folks. Massachusetts has been the gift that keeps giving this last week. Yeah. Tom CPU, the glare. This is a huge story. Think about it. Cops, to include the state police involved in covering up this murder. All right. I mean, you're not wrong, Tom CPU. Here's the thing, man. None of us have been wrong, have we? You know, none of us have been wrong, have we? Right? Because the investigation into Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey's office is ongoing. Make no mistake about that. Well, JFK, not this, and welcome, buddy. Not this. This type of shit doesn't happen every day. I know what you're saying, but this type of shit doesn't happen every day where somebody's actually held accountable for the kind of shit that happens every day in Massachusetts. What you're talking about, buddy. Yeah, Guadino is fucked. Dude, you guys understand what this means? Guadino is fucked. This is going to be amazing. Tully is taking a shit. You know why Tully was in there? You know why Tully was in there? Because he wanted to look that dude in the face. Tully, I'm telling you, Tully is Morrissey's goon, bro. Tully is Morrissey's goon. He's his fucking henchman. He's the Beastman to Skeletor, the Starscream to Megatron, the Destro to Cobra Commander. That's who Tully is. He's a goon. This is just amazing. Yo, tell me this shit isn't amazing, people. Sorry, I'm still waiting on. We just don't know how long this arraignment's going to take. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see how this doesn't go right up the Morrissey pipe. You know what I mean? Just shimmying its way right up the pipe. It's going to go up to the investigators. It's going to go up to Tully, and it's going to go up to Morrissey. And who knows how much further. But this is happening. This is happening. Every single McAlbert, every single investigator that worked both the Sandra Birchmore case and the Boston police officer John O'Keefe case, they should be taking a shit in their pants. What is this? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So this is wow. Thank you, Sleuthy Goosey, for that. Oh my God, you guys are gonna love this shit. 1 second though.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad. I think.
Sarah Clancy, you are absolutely correct. Now the public can see firsthand that this whole conspiracy in the Reed O'Keefe case isn't so far-fetched after all. It's the same crew. Exactly, 100%. No bail. Paul Cristoforo says no bail. Okay, hold on. Paul Cristoforo says no bail. People, that is fantastic. No bail, people. All right. Now, Sleuthy Goosey just sent me this. This is a now hold on. I've got to find the press conference. I just got to make sure that yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't want to miss the press conference outside of the thingamabob. No. All right. I guess let's just see what we can find on Twitter. This is fucking great. I'm just not seeing anything for the press conference. I guess we'll just, I mean, if I can't catch it live, we'll find it and then I'll catch the replay. In the meantime, I'm going to go over this. So this is the United States motion for and memorandum in support of pretrial detention. Defendant Matthew Farwell, a former, now how many pages is this? Okay, 18 pages. The defendant, Matthew Farwell, a former Stoughton police officer, has been charged with killing Sandra Birchmore to prevent her from communicating information about his commission or possible commission of federal crimes in violation of 18 U.S.C. blah, 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 blah. The government moves to detain Farwell pending trial because he is a danger to community and poses a serious risk of flight and obstruction. The court is authorized to conduct a detention hearing and detain Farwell on each of these independent bases because Farwell has been charged with the crime of violence that carries a mandatory life sentence. Now, I also find it interesting that they're moving to detain him. Now, that just seems like everyday, beans and rice, right? That just seems like your everyday beans and rice where they're going to move to detain him. And so when there's no bail or whatever, but they're probably doing this for his own protection, because the fact of the matter is this man is facing life imprisonment, possibly the death penalty. And if this man has information on the target of an ongoing investigation, such as Michael Morrissey, Norfolk County District Attorney, well, then they're going to want to protect him because he's in danger. His life is in danger. And he may cut a deal to have to testify against one of these people. So if he does cut a deal in order to testify, now, if he pled not guilty, then he pled not guilty, right? So if he pled not guilty, then there's still time. There's still time to flip him, because I don't think that this man honestly believes that he can beat this in court. This is going to be a federal trial. He has no. Now, maybe they don't want to deal. Maybe they want to send the message, we don't need to deal with them. Maybe they already have all they need on Michael Morrissey and anybody under his umbrella. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully this douchebag tries to plead, or hopefully he pleads guilty. But if he pleads not guilty, well, then the penalty is going to be that much more severe when he is found guilty. And I do believe that they will find him guilty. So, right, Peter Grant, and yeah, say hi to Led Zeppelin for me. Peter Grant, I agree with you, but we'll see. Maybe they won't. Maybe they don't need him. Maybe they don't need him. Hopefully that's the case. First, there's a risk that if released, the defendant will obstruct or attempt to obstruct justice. That risk is not merely theoretical. On February 1st, 2021, Farwell killed Birchmore, a young pregnant woman whom he had spent years sexually exploiting. Farwell's grisly crime was designed to conceal forever the truth about his years of criminal conduct targeting Birchmore. Moreover, even apart from the murder of Birchmore, Farwell has tried to destroy and conceal evidence of his criminal conduct. Prior to her death, Farwell instructed Birchmore to delete from her phone evidence that he had sexual intercourse with her before her 16th birthday. After the murder, he researched how to delete data from his own phone, and he took steps to conceal the murder, including by repositioning Birchmore's lifeless body and staging her apartment to make the young woman's death appear to be a suicide, and lying to Massachusetts State Police detectives who were initially responsible for investigating Birchmore's death. Second, Farwell's release would pose a profound danger to the community. He has been charged with the intentional premeditated murder of a young person he knew for years. He strangled her to death when he knew she was several weeks pregnant. He did so while he was serving as a police officer, and after using the position of trust and authority to groom and sexually exploit her for years, beginning when she was just 15 years old. There was no conditions of release that will protect the community from a defendant whose conduct reveals such an indifference to human life. Third, Farwell is a serious risk of non-appearance. As described in detail below, the murder followed a report to Stoughton police that disclosed aspects of Farwell's illicit sexual relationship with Birchmore. With Farwell on notice that he could soon face consequences for his criminal conduct, he decided to kill Birchmore. Today, the potential consequences could hardly be more severe or imminent. Farwell faces a mandatory life sentence for killing Birchmore. The weight of the evidence is overwhelming. These circumstances provide him with a significant disincentive to appear before trial. As such, there's no conditions that will reasonably assure he will appear at trial to face the evidence and consequences of his conduct. Oh, he'll jump bail for sure. Statement of facts. The government proffers the following facts in support of his motion to detain the defendant and submits the supporting declaration of FBI Special Agent Chenny Castruita. Jesus Christ. Is that like does that derive from a Latin term meaning castrate? I really hope it doesn't, but I kind of hope it does. I'm not even trying to lie. The government proffers the following facts in support of the motion to detain the defendant and submits the supporting declaration of FBI Special Agent Chenny Castruita. The defendant, Farwell, is 38 years old and resides in northeastern Massachusetts with his spouse and children. Both he and his spouse possess licenses to carry firearms. There are 10 firearms registered to their home address. 2, the defendant's professional background. Farwell served in the United States Army from 2004 to 2008. During that time, he served as an explosives expert. Farwell became a sworn police officer in 2008. He first served from 2008 to 2012 as a police officer for the town of Wellesley, Massachusetts. On March 27, 2012, Farwell became a Stoughton police officer, a position he held until he resigned on April 1st, April Fool's 2022, while a member of the Stoughton Police Department. While a member of the Stoughton Police Department, Farwell also served as a firearms and explosives instructor. 3, the Stoughton Police Explorers Academy. Prior to 2017, the Stoughton Police Department operated the Stoughton Police Explorers Academy, hereinafter the Police Explorers, a quasi-paramilitary program designed to expose youth participants to various aspects of policing. Farwell was a volunteer for the program when he was a Wellesley police officer. After he joined the Stoughton Police Department, Farwell became a Police Explorers instructor. In March 2010, Birchmore applied to the participant in the Police Explorers. At the time, she was 12 years old. She began participating in the program in or around the spring of 2010. She remained in the program through 2016. Farwell was her instructor during that time period. The offense, Farwell groomed and sexually exploited Birchmore when she was a child. As a police officer, Farwell groomed and sexually exploited Birchmore when she was a child. As early as 2012, he began communicating with Birchmore online, including befriending her on Facebook. At the time, he was 26 years old. She was just 15. While using the internet to lay the groundwork for his child sexual exploitation, Farwell would also meet Birchmore at the Stoughton Public Library, where he would sexually groom her under the guise of providing academic tutoring. Ultimately, he engaged in sex acts with Birchmore. Excuse me, guys. This is kind of hard to read. Violating the Massachusetts statutory rape law by having sexual intercourse with her in 2013. She was 15. The act of statutory rape had several attendant aggravating factors, such as the age disparity between Farwell and Birchmore, and Farwell's position of power and trust. Farwell continued to exploit Birchmore when she became an adult. Farwell continued having sex with Birchmore after she became an adult and while he remained employed as a police officer. Building off the years of grooming, Farwell later cultivated a controlling and sometimes abusive relationship with Birchmore. He tracked her location with his cell phone, and as voluminous text messages demonstrate, he engaged in sexual violence. Jesus Christ. Farwell exploited Birchmore while on duty as a police officer. At times, he met Birchmore to have sex with her while he was on duty and being paid by the town of Stoughton. Of course, these are facts that Farwell concealed from the Stoughton Police Department in an effort to continue receiving his salary, notwithstanding his misconduct. In December 2020, Farwell learned that he had impregnated Birchmore. In October 2020, Birchmore told Farwell that he wanted a child of her own, or that she wanted a child of her own. Farwell and Birchmore reached an agreement. He would try to impregnate Birchmore in exchange for her silence about his criminal conduct. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, that's fucking disgusting. The child sexual abuse and years-long extramarital affair. In late December 2020, just a month before Birchmore died, she learned that she was pregnant. Birchmore told Farwell that he was the child's father, and Farwell responded poorly. He became physically violent with Birchmore. She told multiple friends that Farwell had pushed and shoved her, grabbed objects from her hands, and put her in a chokehold. In January 2021, Farwell learned that information about his years-long illicit sexual contact with Birchmore had been disclosed to the Stoughton Police Department and others. In January 2021, Farwell learned that despite Birchmore getting the pregnancy she wanted, he would not be able to control her or the information that she possessed about his crimes. On January 20th, 2021, a friend of Birchmore's called the Stoughton Police Department and disclosed information about Farwell's sexual contact with Birchmore. When a Stoughton Police Department employee told him about the call, Farwell again responded poorly. He angrily demanded that the employee never tell anyone about the information. Unreal. In late January 2021, Farwell began planning the murder of Sandra Birchmore. Wait, what? Okay. By late January 2021, text messages between Farwell and Birchmore reveal that Farwell was enraged by what he perceived as Birchmore not upholding her end of the pregnancy for silence agreement. Moreover, he had learned that Birchmore had shared with at least one other person some of the incriminating details about his sexual relationship with Birchmore, and that information had been disclosed to his employer, a law enforcement agency. In a text on January 20th, 2021, he asked Birchmore, "What else do I have to worry about now? Which other friend will do something tomorrow?" In an allusion to his fear that she may disclose more information about his possible commission of federal crimes, coercion and enticement, deprivation of rights under color of law, and wire fraud. fraud. Jesus Christ. It is really sickening to read. I gotta be honest, guys. It's tough. So I probably should have given a trigger warning, but I'm giving one now. You know, you feel like you need to take a break. Nobody's gonna be mad at you for it. On January 21st, 2021, Farwell started to take important steps to obstruct justice by killing Birchmore. He asked Birchmore for a key to her apartment after previously being reluctant to having in his possession the kind of tangible proof of their relationship. And he asked Birchmore to keep it a secret that she had given him a key. On January 26, 2021, Farwell also stated casing Birchmore's apartment, the future crime scene, searching the places to carry out the murder. He inspected her bathroom and closet, places where items could be hung. His behavior was strange enough that Birchmore told multiple friends that she was concerned. On February 1st, 2021, Farwell went to Birchmore's apartment wearing a mask and strangled her to death using a duffel bag strap. On February 1st, 2021, Farwell decided to act. For him, that day provided at least two advantages. A blizzard was approaching Greater Boston, ensuring that no one would notice Birchmore's absence from work for several days, and Farwell's wife was hours away from delivering their child. Therefore, Farwell texted Birchmore to tell her that he was coming to her apartment. He entered her apartment wearing a face mask, despite being well known as a resistant to COVID-19 mask mandates. I love that they threw that in there. And he murdered Birchmore, the 23-year-old pregnant woman he had exploited and used for years, by strangling her to death. Now, I love what they do here. They point out that there was a blizzard, right? Ensuring that no one would notice Birchmore's absence from work for several days. Now, that wouldn't be the same thing with Boston police officer John O'Keefe, but I wonder if the blizzard was used in advantage in some way for covering it up, if that was part of the plan. I wonder if if in the framing of Karen Reed, was there some sort of inspiration by this cover up using a blizzard? And I mean, that's a little far-fetched, but I mean, this whole goddamn fucking thing is far-fetched. So yeah. And I love that they pointed out that he was very resistant to COVID-19 mask mandates. They point this out, and this validates everyone who has been saying this, saying it's very suspicious. I mean, the thing is, though, it's interesting because I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that one of the reasons why we have been so vocal about Farwell being indicted on this is because he admits that that's him in that security footage, and she ends up dead. We know, we already knew. Occam's razor dictated that Farwell killed Sandra Birchmore. We all fucking knew it. He had motive, he had means, he had opportunity. All of it. We knew it was him. You know what I mean? So it's fascinating to hear this report. It's fascinating to read this document because it states and validates pretty much everything that Mizzy has been talking about, everything Turtle Boy's been talking about. It validates all that shit. Within minutes of silencing Birchmore, video surveillance footage shows him leaving her apartment. Additional evidence regarding Farwell's efforts to obstruct. In addition to the obstruction crime alleged in the indictment, there is evidence that Farwell took steps to conceal his criminal conduct before Birchmore's death and later to obstruct the murder investigation. Farwell directed Birchmore to delete electronic evidence of his crimes. Before Farwell killed Birchmore, Farwell directed her to delete evidence of their sexual relationship. This was evidence that he raped Birchmore when she was 15 and that he had engaged in sexual violence. For example, in February of 2019, Farwell exchanged text messages with Birchmore in which they discussed her virginity, and he acknowledged that it was people. Yeah, this is going to be really disgusting, I think. So just a trigger warning for those of you who with sensitive with delicate sensibilities. Just a heads up. For example, in February 2019, Farwell exchanged text messages with Birchmore in which they discussed her virginity, and he acknowledged that it was a big thing to get to be the first. In March 2019, the defendant asked Birchmore, "What would you have done if we never used a condom and I never pulled out?" Birchmore reassured Farwell that she would have still finished school. A few months after that, on June 5th, 2019, Farwell directed Birchmore to make sure all of their text and Facebook messages had been deleted. In another text message conversation, Farwell discussed the first time he and Birchmore had sex. Farwell sent a text indicating he would have liked to have sex with Birchmore when she was even younger, saying, "You should have told me, we could have fucked so much sooner." After sending that text, Farwell quickly instructed Birchmore, clear that out, baby. And when she confirmed that she did, he texted, "Good girl." Farwell also wanted to ensure that Birchmore would delete text messages in which they discussed his violence. For example, on March 19th, 2019, the defendant sent Birchmore texts about his desire to use sexual violence and to pretend to rape her. At the end of this conversation, Farwell sent her a text instructing her to clear out this text. Farwell tried to prevent his Stoughton Police Department employee from further disclosing information about his crimes and immediately confronted Birchmore for sharing incriminating information. In the weeks before Birchmore's murder, Farwell previewed some of the steps he would take to prevent witnesses from disclosing information about his crimes. On January 20th, 2021, Farwell reacted angrily when Pearson 5, then an employee from the Stoughton Police Department, confronted him about a call he or she received regarding, I love that they kept their anonymity. He or she sorry, I lost my place. Farwell directed Pearson 5 never mentioned the topic. Okay, sorry. Then an employee of Stoughton, blah, 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 he or she received regarding his illicit sexual relationship with Birchmore. Let me read that one more time. Pearson 5, then an employee with the Stoughton Police Department, confronted him about a call he or she received regarding his illicit sexual relationship with Birchmore. Farwell directed Pearson 5 never to mention the topic to him again and not to tell anyone else. Farwell then began frantically texting with Birchmore. He wrote, "You also told me no one knew about us, yet he or she claimed we were fucking. You have no idea how bad what he or she did is. I literally can't believe this is even real life. Like, what else do I have to worry about now? Which other friend will do something tomorrow?" It's crazy. Within days of the foregoing text messages, Farwell was asking Birchmore to give him a key to her apartment, but to keep it secret. Within days, he was scoping out her closets and bathrooms, and within 12 days, Birchmore was dead. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Even though it's difficult to read, it's important. Within days of the foregoing text messages, Within days of the text messages where he criticizes her and berates her for someone approaching him in the Stoughton Police Department in regards to his relationship with Sandra Birchmore, he confronts her about them knowing about it. Who did you tell? So on and so forth. And within 12 days of this, Sandra is dead. After killing Birchmore, Farwell repositioned her body and staged her apartment to make it appear that Birchmore had committed suicide. After killing Birchmore, Farwell moved her lifeless body and staged her apartment to conceal his crime by making it appear that she died by suicide. As described in more detail in Exhibit A, notwithstanding the fact that the first responders found Birchmore in a seated position with a strap around her neck and doorknob. Dr. William Smock determined that Birchmore's death was a homicide. Dr. Smock cited Birchmore's hyoid bone fracture, the pattern imprint injury on her chest, abrasions on her nose, and the broken necklace, among other evidence that led him to conclude with a reasonable degree of medical and scientific certainty that Birchmore's death was a homicide. These specific injuries and evidence are consistent with Farwell suffocating Birchmore by strangulation and then hanging her lifeless body from her closet doorknob, which he had inspected days earlier, to make it appear as if she took her own life. Now, guys, I got to ask, so is Dr. Smock the same guy that her family hired that independently came to the conclusion that it was a homicide too? The pathologist. Is that the same pathologist, Dr. Smock? Somebody tell me in the chat. Because I have a thought here. It's not the same one, right? It's not the same one. Okay. Right. Okay. Now that validates my thought here. That now I wonder if Sandra's family and Dr. Baden, whatever, if his conclusions led to the FBI having Dr. Smock investigate and do their own pathology report. So the bottom line here is now you have two pathologists that have looked at Sandra Birchmore's remains and concluded that this was a homicide. Two separate pathologists. Two independent pathologists from the investigation. The original investigation. That's not going to be good. If he's pleading not guilty, if Farwell is pleading not guilty, that is not going to be good for him in trial. That prosecution is going to be able to say that two separate pathologists, two independent of each other, separate pathologists have determined that Sandra Birchmore's death was a homicide. After the murder, Farwell searched for ways to conceal his years-long relationship with Birchmore and his communication with her on the day of the murder. After Birchmore's death, Farwell gave limited consent to search his personal cell phone to law enforcement officers who were investigating the death. However, on February 9th, 2021, Farwell used his work cell phone to make and delete two Google searches. First, he searched for and deleted can delete sick message recovered by Cellebrite. Cellebrite is a tool that forensic examiners use to extract data from cell phones. Then he searched for and deleted, can you revoke consent in Massachusetts? After the murder, Farwell lied to, let's talk about that for a second. Now, they don't state who conducted the Celebrite extraction, but Celebrite was used here. Celebrite was used here to extract this, and the prosecution. Let me rephrase that, because I'm going to name a name here. Michael Morrissey's office tried to discredit Celebrite findings. Michael Morrissey's office tried to discredit Celebrite findings. And now the feds are now using Celebrite to convict Matthew Farwell. This is happening. And this is about to happen. The defense is going to use this in Karen Reed's retrial. This I can guarantee you. Jen McCabe is fucked. She's got to be shitting herself right now. Jen, are you watching? You got to be shitting yourself right now. Oh, man. Wow. Let me move on. After the murder, Farwell searched for ways to... Okay, I already read that. After the murder, Farwell lied to Massachusetts State Police detectives. When Farwell met with Massachusetts State Police detectives who were investigating Birchmore's death, he lied to them. His multiple false statements reveal a deliberate effort to minimize his relationship with Birchmore and avoid consequences for his misconduct. Examples are Farwell falsely told the detectives that his sexual relationship with Birchmore began in 2020. According to his own text messages with Birchmore, it actually began in 2013 when Birchmore was 15. Farwell falsely told detectives that he only had sex with Birchmore 2 or 3 times in the previous year. According to text messages, he had sex with her at least 10 times in the 13 months prior to her death. Farwell falsely told detectives that the last time he had sex with Birchmore was in October of 2020, attempting to avoid suspicion about whether he was the father of Birchmore's unborn child. However, text messages indicate that Farwell met Birchmore to have sex after that date. Wow. Farwell falsely told detectives that he had not seen Birchmore in the week before her death. However, he visited her apartment on January 29th, 2021. Farwell falsely told detectives that he had been trying to distance himself from Birchmore. However, approximately 10 days before her death, he asked her for a key to her apartment and told her he would come over to give her hugs about 3 days before her death. Farwell told her that he would engage in sexual activity with her. Additional evidence regarding the danger Farwell poses to the community. Farwell has a long track of using physical and sexual violence. Text messages show that the defendant physically abused Birchmore on or at least 20 occasions in just the year before her death. Farwell sent Birchmore text messages stating that he would grab her throat, pin her down by her throat, squeeze her throat, or choke her during sexual activity. For example, less than 4 months before her death, Farwell told Birchmore that during their next sexual encounter, he was going to grab her throat and say, "Shut the fuck up now, or I won't pull out." Ugh, God. In November of 2020, Farwell told Birchmore, "Maybe I'll hold you down by your throat while I pound you," and then reflected on how tight he should squeeze, texting that he wanted her to feel like, "Oh my God, this is really happening and I can't stop it." Farwell's penchant for violence is confirmed by Birchmore's disclosures to friends that the defendant assaulted her in the weeks before her death. Jesus, that was tough to read. Additionally, text messages between Farwell and Birchmore and Birchmore's own journal entries reveal Farwell's efforts to punish her with violent sex acts. The violent sexual punishment started as early as 2013 and continued until 2020. The evidence indicates that the defendant used violent sex acts to punish Birchmore for getting bad grades, lying to him, or being sexually active with other people. The evidence indicates that Farwell's efforts to control Birchmore also included directing her to use her phone to share her location with him and admonishing her
when she failed to do so. Farwell also demonstrated preoccupation with sexual assault in a number of ways. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to try to get through this. But I can't guarantee that I won't stop. Just saying. First, Farwell's texts with Birchmore include numerous discussions about him forcing her to engage in certain sex acts. Farwell asked Birchmore on multiple occasions to act as if he were raping her when they had sex. For example, in one text conversation on November 8th, 2020, Farwell told Birchmore that he enjoyed having sex with her. When Birchmore asked what would be perfect for him, he replied, "You say no and make me..." All right, I'm just gonna skip through. Yeah. Here, listen. I've read all I need to, out loud anyway. Seriously. So the link is there, and you guys can read it yourselves. Okay, if you feel the need. But I'm just gonna skip through why they feel he shouldn't have bail based on other laws. Okay. I will say this because it's important to know, just for the safety of the area. Just in case he ends up getting out somehow. And Farwell repeatedly disclosed to Birchmore his interest in having sex with children. So this is why he's dangerous to be out. Farwell asked Birchmore to... Okay. Okay. Farwell is a firearms and explosives expert with access to many guns. Farwell has extensive training regarding firearms and explosives, having served in the Army and as an instructor for the Stoughton Police Department. He has his license to carry a gun with 10 guns registered to his residence. The Bail Reform Act authorizes the court to detain Farwell on 3 independent bases: danger to the community and risk of flight and obstruction. Congress empowered judicial officers to release or detain defendants pending trial. Wow. Okay. Section governs pretrial detention determinations under section blah, blah, blah. The court shall hold a detention hearing upon the government's motion in a case that involves a crime of violence and one that involves an offense in which the maximum sentence is life imprisonment or death. Here, the charged offense, killing a victim or witness pursuant to 18 blah, 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 satisfies both criteria. Okay. Defining crime of violence as an offense that has as an element of the offense the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against the person or property of another. The punishment of an offense under this subsection is in the case of killing, the punishment provided in sections and blah, 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 blah. First degree murder is death or mandatory life imprisonment. Okay, so basically what they're saying here, folks, if you can't figure it out for yourselves, is that since the charge brings a maximum penalty of death or life imprisonment, that means that they can, by federal law, detain the person without bail. That means that they can keep them. That's it. Based on that alone, just by that fact. And you know, they state a pretty good case there that he's a danger. If he has expressed that he fantasizes about having sex with children, okay, as disgusting as I find it to even say those words out loud, the truth is that clearly presents him as a danger to the public. If he fantasizes about committing a crime that victimizes children, well, then that means that this man, being outed now and being desperate, this puts children at risk. At the very least, it puts children at risk. So they're stating a very, very good case here that they get to hold this guy.
This man is not getting out. This man's not getting out. And I don't think that he's going to be found not guilty on these charges. Flipperhead, thank you so much. The day Super Trooper Tully goes down will be a good one. As you hear how awful Farwell is, remember, Tully let this man walk free while he spent time working a case about Turtle Boy on your dime. That's it. Thank you, Flipperhead. Absolutely. And I missed a few, man. I missed a few here. Mike B. Holy shit, I was in class teaching and the news of this broke. Half my students who are also healthcare workers follow these cases. They all cheered. Absolutely. Cosmic Blue member for 2 months. Officer John O'Keefe worked in sex unit. It's got to be why he's dead. I wonder. That's possible. Doesn't mean it's got to be, but that makes it more of a possibility, doesn't it? Amber Bully. Thank God, finally some justice in Massachusetts. Thanks so much to you and Cherry for all you do for us. Amber Bully gifted 5 memberships as well. Thank you so much for that. No, that's it. Yeah, thank you guys for that. Now, what would a momentous day like today be if I didn't close out this stream by taking a couple of calls? Okay. Now it states here why he's a danger to the community. Should I keep reading this? You guys want me to just keep reading this and then I'll open phone lines? So Farwell killed a young person to cover up his own crimes, and he committed while he was employed as a police officer. That chilling act of obstruction of justice followed his previous attempts to destroy evidence. In addition, Farwell is violent. He used that violence both to harm his victim while she was alive and to obstruct up justice by killing her. In the end, his conduct was all designed to avoid accountability for his underlying crimes, which should also give the court grave concerns about whether he will appear for future proceedings. Good point. On this record, there is no conditions that he can reasonably assure the court that Farwell will not harm others, obstruct justice, or flee to avoid the consequences in this case. Accordingly, the court should detain him pending trial. Agreed. Farwell is a danger to the community as a threshold matter, a murder charge, subsequently in favor of finding the future dangerousness, United States versus Zhang, affirming decision not to reopen a detention hearing for a defendant who is charged with murder for hire. Murder by its nature involves violence and bespeaks danger to others. Here, the defendant took another person's life. The singular act demonstrates the risk that his release poses to the entire community. But there is more to it. The evidence set forth in detail in Exhibit A describes the manner in which Farwell committed the murder. He got a key to Birchmore's apartment. He inspected the apartment to find an ideal place to commit the crime. He showed up during a snowstorm when he knew he would have hours or days before Birchmore would be missed at work. He arrived wearing a mask to disguise his appearance. He quickly strangled Birchmore, choking off her air supply until she perished. He moved her body and tied a duffel bag strapped to the closet doorknob, to make it look like Birchmore had done this to herself. And he quickly left her apartment. The crime required planning and unique willingness to take risks to cause irreversible harm. Release conditions cannot safeguard the community against the defendant who has displayed this type of commitment to harming others. Second, Farwell killed Birchmore after engaging in domestic violence. The Second Circuit has acknowledged willingness to strike loved ones offers probative evidence of a tendency to violence and toward others. Reversing the district court's pretrial release under order as to 3 defendants and citing to one of the defendants' history of domestic violence, even without any criminal record, as contributing to a finding that the defendant was dangerous. In fact,
A study found that a single episode of strangulation was associated with a 750% increase in the risk of becoming a victim of a completed domestic homicide in all ethnic groups. Non-fatal strangulation is an important risk factor for homicide of women. Here, not only did Farwell choke Birchmore during sex on several occasions, but in weeks prior to her death, she reported to friends that he assaulted her while when they were discussing her pregnancy. Farwell's interest in and glorification of violence towards women was clearly displayed in the images agents recovered from his iCloud account. Third, the court should have heightened concerns about the danger Farwell presents because of his extensive experience with weapons and the 10 firearms that are registered at his home. Farwell had firearm training in the military and during his law enforcement career. Plus, he had sufficient expertise to serve as a firearms instructor for other law enforcement officers. Fourth, Farwell is a danger to children. Unlike many exploitation cases in which there isn't no evidence of hands-on sexual contact with children, here Farwell enticed and sexually abused Birchmore when she was 15 years old. Sorry, I'm in a child porn, blah, 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 denying emotional holding. Okay, so at United States versus McCarty, a child pornography case with some evidence of production denying motion for release, holding the defendant would pose a danger. Holding the defendant would pose a danger to the community in part because he had an obvious prurient sexual interest in children and acted upon those interests on multiple occasions. So basically just what I just talked about. Indeed, he wrote in a text stating that he wished he had sex with her even earlier. Moreover, text messages show that Farwell maintained his sexual interest in children for years. He wanted Birchmore to pretend to be 13 or 14 years old when they had sex, and he initiated child sex incest role-playing that further confirms that he remains a danger to children. Absolutely. Just as he was when he began grooming Birchmore more than a decade ago. Absolutely, 100%. Keep that fucker locked up. Keep that piece of shit locked up. Oh, man, I got more thoughts. Farwell remains a risk of obstruction. For the last 3 years, Farwell may have believed that he had gotten away with killing Sandra Birchmore. Now that he has been charged and some of the evidence has been revealed, circumstances have changed. He now knows that if convicted, he faces a mandatory life sentence. These new circumstances provide a great incentive for him to further obstruct justice. The court is in the unique position of having a wealth of information about what this defendant has done in the past when he believed there was a risk of criminal consequences. When Farwell feared that Birchmore might reveal information about his commission or possible commission of federal crimes, he killed her. When a Stoughton police employee told him that he had received a call reporting aspects of Farwell's illicit sexual relationship with Birchmore, Farwell sprung into action, directing that employee not to talk about the information and frantically admonishing Birchmore for revealing information. Bukaki's missing dentures. Thank you so much. I saw this in the corner of my eye and I need a break. He has young children and is a sex offender. Lock him up. Deny bail. His own children at risk. I completely 150% agree. And I gotta say, let's just keep going here real quick. Let me get through this. Farwell's track record, which includes violence, intimidation, and dishonesty, strongly indicates that if released, he will continue to try to save himself by obstructing justice before trial. That could put many civilian witnesses at risk. Ultimately, release would pose a tremendous risk to the fundamental integrity of these proceedings. And I'm going to add, before I continue, I'm going to add that he's also a fucking suicide risk, and he doesn't get to get out that easy. I say fucking put him on suicide watch, take away anything that he could use to possibly hurt himself, make sure he has no access to it. I say put him in a fucking turtle outfit and buck naked underneath and just leave him isolated. That's what I say. I say keep him in under under constant supervision. I say keep him under protective custody. I say keep him keep him on suicide watch, because fuck this guy. That's not justice. Keep this fucker locked up and keep him safe. Because I want him to stand there when a judge pounds that gavel and sends his ass where he is, where justice tells him he needs to go. Period. And that's right. I say keep his ass in a fucking turtle suit before and during trial. Before and during trial. Keep his ass in a fucking turtle suit. The defendant is also a risk of flight. The grave consequence, a mandatory life sentence that will result from a conviction, provides a strong incentive to flee. I'm just going to skip through that. Defendant charged with narcotics trafficking, witness tampering has an extremely strong incentive to flee based upon the length of the prison term he faces under the charges pending against him and the likelihood of conviction. So basically what they're saying here is we're urging the court, because he's totally a flight risk. If somebody who's facing a long sentence because they're charged with drugs is going to fucking take off, given the chance, well, then this guy who's facing a life sentence, much less the death penalty, is definitely going to fucking try to take off. He's either going to try to take off from the country or from the world. One or the other. That's what this piece of shit's going to do. I guarantee it. So I say keep his ass fucking locked up. And it concludes here. Based upon the foregoing, the government has met its burden to show that no conditions of release will reasonably assure the defendant's appearance, the safety of any person or the community, or the integrity of the this proceeding. Accordingly, the government requests that the court order of the defendant detained pending trial. The request that the court order the defendant detained pending trial. The government further requests that if the court is inclined to release the defendant on conditions, it stay its order for such time to permit the government to file a motion of revocation of the order of release under blah, 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 blah. And right there, it is signed by Josh Levy, Tory Cummings, Brian Fogarty, Elizabeth Riley, all assistant United States attorneys, acting United States attorney, and assistant United States attorneys. Tory Cummings, I believe, will be the one that will be handling that shit in the courtroom if it ever gets to that point. So people, yeah, Josh Levy's office. How about that? Oh my God, hold on. Oh, and I've got a 45-page document here. Now I'm going to go over this first thing tomorrow, guys. I'm not going to stay live. I'm going to go over this tomorrow. Now, because we are approaching 3 hours here, folks. All right. And yeah, we are approaching 3 hours here, folks. But as promised, folks, what I'm going to do here is I am going to, hold on, let me download that real quick. I'm going to open the phone lines. Okay. All right. So go ahead and call in if you got any thoughts. I must give you guys a voice here too. You guys deserve to speak. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that's a 45-page document, okay? If that had fallen in my lap at the beginning of this live, we'd be going over it.
Call from Jay's Handyman Services.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Will. This is Ian from Hate Corruption.
Oh, hey, Corrupted. What's up?
Hey, I know in the chat I said I will not call, but I just got the most grooviest idea.
Okay.
So what I was thinking was, I can't afford to do it all on my own, but is there any way maybe you and Cherry and the rest of the chat, we can figure out how to like make up some shirt, donate the money to the Birchmore and Baby family, and wear these shirts with like his face on it behind bars that says justice for Sandra Birchmore and Baby.
You know who
and
you
we
need.
who are in Boston can stand out in front of the jail, in front of the courthouse, and wear them.
You need to reach out to Paul Cristoforo about that. And
Okay.
And you need to reach out to Paul Cristoforo and if you can somehow Nick Rocco. Anything fundraiser involved is the kind of the stuff
Okay.
that those guys handle.
And they're both from Boston, right?
Yeah. So they handle all the stuff for the Karen Reed stuff. So as far as fundraisers, as far as any type of fundraisers type things goes, I don't handle that. But yeah, those are the folks you want to talk to, are the pros on that.
Okay. Now, how would I get in touch with them? Like the next time I see them in one of your chat or Total Boys chat?
Yeah, I would follow Paul Cristoforo on Twitter. Most likely is probably the best way to
I
go.
don't have Twitter or any of that. Does he have a YouTube page or?
Sometimes he's on other people's YouTubers.
Yeah, I know he goes on Brian LTL a lot.
Best thing I would do is, most of these folks are in a Facebook group, so I would join the Facebook group. Maybe the
Okay. I have Facebook. I don't use it, but
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, social media.
Does it sound?
You're gonna have to get in touch with people through social media. That's just how it is these days. Hate corruption.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah, but
does this sound like a good idea, or does it sound like it does? Okay, just want your opinion.
Sure.
All right. Also, I'd like to get in touch with the person who ships out the merchandise from the Glera. Still waiting on my shirt and mug, and I know it only been here less than a week, but the anticipation.
Oh yeah,
it's like waiting for Santy.
It'll be there in a couple of days. Yeah.
All right. So, today was awesome, man. And thank you so much for reading all that. And I did say I wouldn't call in the chat because I saw you laughing at me the last time. But, this just came to my mind, and I'm like, we need to put his ugly face on a shirt.
Well, I appreciate you calling. Hate Corruption. Thank you so much for everything. You're amazing.
Thank you for answering. You're amazing, and Terry's amazing, and everyone in the chat's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Till next time, man.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hate Corruption, y'all. Yeah. Oh man, and I have more thoughts, man.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Glera.
Hey, who am I talking to?
What? It's Dina.
Hey, Dina. How are you?
Hey.
How you
Oh my God.
how you feeling
It's like
today?
a I was in work and I cried with being so happy.
I know.
It's I don't even know how to contain myself right now. Like, it's so sad, but it's so happy right now that finally the freaking walls are breaking down.
I know. Like I like to do reactions kind of, but at the same time I'm trying to run my show, so like I don't know if it's really hit me. I think like running the show is kind of preoccupying me and everything too for me to give a full on reaction, but I'm blown away today, man. I'm blown away.
I want to hop in my car right now and go join everybody at Uncle Joe's. But traffic and heading into Boston right now is a nightmare. But it's like you're dancing. I'm so happy for Mizzy and Sue.
Is that what
that
everybody's
all
doing? Are
their
they meeting
hard
up
work-
at Uncle Joe's to celebrate?
Yeah, that's
I
what
love
they're
it.
doing. Like, just to be with my protest family. Like, you know,
Yeah.
everybody's a piece of the puzzle in this. And no matter what you do, whether
Totally.
you're behind the keyboard or anything, everything works for a reason. And it's just nice to have something finally good and positive happen, because a lot of people out there that are anti-Karen or whatever, shit on everybody. And finally it feels like we won a little bit of a battle here.
We did.
We did.
I mean,
But
that shuts everybody up. Everybody who's been so loud going, oh, when are the feds coming? When are the feds coming? Blah, blah, blah. And then you'll have the occasional idiot that's going to be like, still no indictments in the Karen Reed case, though. And just
it's
wait.
coming.
Just you wait.
They must be shitting their pants right now
Exactly.
because the hammer is going to drop.
Exactly.
I know one thing, Will. I know there's a bunch of people that want to call in because we're so happy, but I really have to. You're all the way in Tennessee, and you're part of us here in Massachusetts, and we can't thank you enough because
Oh, you guys make me feel that way, man.
You're a genuine guy, and that's why everybody loves you here in Massachusetts. And you're right there to keep us up to date. And we can't show you enough appreciation for what you do. Really will.
Well, thank
We
you,
really do.
Dina. Like I just, you guys have been just fantastic with me, and I'm just grateful that you guys I feel like I'm part of something, and it's really and I
You
have
are
you guys
part of something.
and I have you guys to thank for that. So
And I want to say to everybody that came to either one protest or every single protest, Scott McGinnis is right up there with, you can't talk Scott, but it's not a competition, but everybody that's ever either stood out, sent $1 in, dropped us off cases of water when we stood out, like every single one of you guys out there means something, and you made this all happen.
100%.
With that, I hope
100%.
justice to Sandra goes all the way, and justice to Turtle Boy, and let's get our girl out of all this stuff too. And peace out, Clara. We love you.
Oh, love you too, Dina. Thank you so much. We love everything you're doing.
Bye.
Call from Patty.
Patty, for Patty, for Nana, Panda, for Fatty, Beep, Bop, for Maddie, Patty, Banani.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic, Patty. How are you?
I'm actually doing great. I was so excited to get the notification that you were going live because I work for the Commonwealth, and I was at a very serious meeting a few hours ago, and someone came in and made a loud announcement that he had gotten arrested. So we got a little derailed on what we were actually supposed to be talking about, and we're actually all now quite sad that it's a federal case and he will not be coming to us if he needs psychiatric care. So
oh wow,
would have loved to have had him in my group.
Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, so without giving anything too much away, if this had been a Norfolk County case, well, he would never be in custody. But let's just say if he was in a Norfolk County case, then you would be he would have he would have came across you as far as some mental health care.
Exactly.
Wow. And of course, you would have protected him to the extent of which what is it? Every 15 minutes you got to log somebody's doings when they're on suicide watch. Every 15 minutes. I feel like you
For
guys would have done
that,
10.
it would actually probably
5.
be constant observation.
Okay. Yeah.
That someone would be assigned to keep eyes at all times on the person.
Well, the way I thought it worked is they do already do that, but they have to log their doings.
Oh yeah, you have to log every 5 minutes.
Every
Every
5
5
minutes.
minutes.
Wow.
And then a nurse has to log every 30 minutes.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure the feds are going to take good care of him. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that the feds are going to keep old Maddie with us. Even though old Maddie won't be in old Patty's care, old Maddie will still be in good hands, and will be well taken care of and preserved for that trial.
Oh yes, they will do everything that they can to keep him safe as a bug in a rug.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think they learned from their Epstein mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah.
that was it. I was just so excited, and then I wanted to let you know that we were all pretty bummed. We're like, oh, not coming here, not going to come here.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, if you're following me, then you're following the John O'Keefe Karen Reed case, and to hear the words Josh Levy handing out an indictment must have been great news.
It was amazing news.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was the talk of a very serious meeting.
Wow.
Before we actually got on topic.
Wow. I'd like to have been a fly on the wall in that meeting, but I won't put you in that position. We don't want you getting in any trouble. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yep. Well, there are some very strong opinions, and our personal opinions versus our professional opinions have to sometimes differ.
Right.
So.
Right.
But yeah.
All right.
I just want to call and say thank you very much for covering this and for bringing joy to a room full of people who were going to say some really not so great things about people.
Right on. Right on. Yeah. Big shout out to you and all your coworkers out there, man. Much love.
All right. Well,
thank you for listening.
All right. Thanks, Phil. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is TKO.
TKO?
Yes.
Okay. What does TKO stand for? Without giving out your full name. If it's your initials for your full name, don't do that.
It's my initials.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm in your chat as Piney Woods Law and Crime.
As what law and crime?
Piney Woods.
Piney Woods Law and Crime. Okay, Piney Woods Law and Crime. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I've been watching this whole chat, this whole live you're doing, and I'm so thrilled that we have this case in federal court where we're going to get a good judge. And plus, I'm happy because I'm a lawyer who's practiced mostly in federal court, so I can follow the rules. I was trying to follow Karen Reed's case, and it was all this Massachusetts weirdness going on.
I mean, so you're okay. So you're a federal attorney. You're an attorney in federal court, you say?
Oh, I'm an old lady now. I'm retired.
Okay. So give us a little insight. So what are your predictions for what's going to happen in the next few months? What can we look forward to?
Well, I think, first of all, you need to recognize that they don't bring a case unless they have a case.
Right.
When the United States attorney tries somebody, they've got all their ducks in a row. They win 98.9% of the time, I think. And so I'm not concerned at all that this guy will be convicted.
Right.
And I think, and usually well, down here in Louisiana and Texas, it's a rocket docket. So it goes a lot faster than state court. And the rules are baked in, and there's no deviating from it. The rules of evidence, I mean, they're really, really strict in the federal court about that.
Right.
The judge picks the jury. I mean, it's very strict and regimented, and will just shoot down the docket compared to a state court case.
Wow.
So I'm thinking y'all have a good judge up there, and I'm thinking that this is going to be great. And the fact that at the press conference, the acting U.S. attorney said he's not going to comment on the cases he has in his office is a way of saying that case is in my office. So
right. That's how I
think,
took that. I love that you confirmed
yeah,
that. I love that you, well, not
that's
confirmed,
exactly
but you.
what that meant.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, or he would have said no comment.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
what he said instead was wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's how I took it.
You know, yeah, that's exactly why he said that.
Yeah.
And what a cool guy. He
Right.
seems like a good attorney. So I'm thrilled that this is in federal court. I'm thrilled about justice for Miss Birchmore and her unborn child.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased as punch.
Me too.
And I
love
love
it.
your coverage. I've been following you just recently. It kind of discovered you. And, well, I didn't discover you, obviously. I personally discovered you. But, and I'm just loving your coverage. Thank you so much.
Right on. No, thank you for watching and listening, man. That means a lot. And I love when more educated people than myself like this channel. Validates me, makes me feel good. So and wow. So I really appreciate you calling, man. That's really fantastic stuff to hear come from an experienced attorney from federal court. So
I've tried about 75 civil rights cases.
wow.
So, and that's what this is. Ultimately, it's violation of civil rights leading to murder. So
Yeah, okay. And right.
that's why it's in federal court.
Right. And so I would imagine you have opinions on Turtle Boy's case as well, correct?
I certainly do. I certainly do. I mean, I'm a big proponent of all the amendments, the entire Bill of Rights, including the first, the second, the fourth. Yes.
Right.
I think I'm glad he's got Federer on his side.
Yeah. That's
He's very well spoken, and I think he'll do a great job.
yeah. So like, I mean, if this somehow got kicked up to federal court, there's just no way that they're gonna rule against Turtle Boy, right? I mean, Turtle Boy or I mean, they can't deny the case has been dropped. So
well, you know, from what I've seen, the evidence is there doesn't seem to be any good evidence against him. So he doesn't seem to breach anybody's, you know.
Right. I mean, it would never get kicked up to federal court. And I'm just trying to get your insight on it. Like hypothetically, if it were to get kicked up to federal court, it wouldn't even, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even be tried. Like it wouldn't even be.
I don't think it would survive a motion to dismiss.
Right.
Court.
Right.
A 12B6 motion is what you file because they failed to state a cause of action.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You are absolutely fantastic.
Well, I probably sound funny to most of your listeners, but
no, not at all.
I'm just an old retired trial lawyer looking on, thinking, "Good Lord, what's happening in Massachusetts?" I love that state.
Yeah,
I visited there many
I do
times.
too, man. You know, like all the history there. It's just it's time it starts living up to the history, man. That's what's going on, and the people there seem to want that, and I love it, and I'm proud to be a part of it. It's great.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to watching what happens here at trial. We can't watch it; it's in federal court, but you know, we can send people to listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Heck, I might fly up there and listen to it.
Yeah, I definitely am going to be paying close attention to it. I'll definitely be giving detailed updates on what happens.
Oh, good, good. Are you going to go sit in the courtroom?
I doubt it. I don't think I can afford to attend an entire trial, but that would
Well,
be
it's
one
gonna
way
go
to do it.
quickly. It's not going to be much long. Like I said, it goes very quickly in the federal court.
Right.
And there's not going to be any evidence that's not probative or inadmissible. I mean, the evidence will be strictly, chain of custody followed, pinpoint, probative, relevant, and admissible.
Nice.
So
none of that bullshit.
you won't get
You're
any
saying
bad
because it's
stuff.
federal court, we won't see any of the bullshit motions filed to suppress certain evidence. Is what you're saying that the judge?
Oh, there will be motions to suppress evidence if the attorney's any good, sure, but if
Sure.
they're not going to win.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
I bet you dollars to donuts that these lawyers have got everything just pinned. They wouldn't have brought a case unless they did.
Right. Yeah, that's how and to go back to what you were talking about before, when they were making those, because the press was really trying to push for answers in regards to the cops who investigated it in the first place. They're really probing. So I feel like just that along with everything that you're talking about just seems like this is part of a web of justice.
Corruption.
That's we know about the web of corruption, but what I mean is a web of investigation branching out to different cases.
Yes, always the DOJ will investigate state police and local police, municipal police. They will investigate them because somebody's made a complaint.
Yeah.
And the complaint has been verified. And it has to be that way. It's a 14th Amendment challenge or an 8th Amendment challenge. And so the feds have jurisdiction over the municipal and state police.
Wow. Okay.
And that appears to be what they're investigating in the broad scheme of things.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Is they seem to be like, this seems, even though these are murder charges, it still feels like it's part of just another move towards something else as well. You know what I mean? Obviously,
yes,
it is to get justice for Sandra Birchmore, but I feel like it's also playing a part to get towards something else, if that makes sense.
Yes, and those are civil rights violations. When there's an abuse of power by a state or municipal authority and that violates the civil rights or the 14th Amendment rights of a citizen of that state, and there's state actors that did it, then the feds are going to investigate the grander case, which is a violation of civil rights and abuse of authority. And then
if the Massachusetts State Police, if the Massachusetts State Police were acting under orders of Michael Morrissey, well, then there you go.
I feel confident. I mean, I'm not theirs, and I don't really know all of the ins and outs, but I feel confident that if they have gone in and started investigating these police, then they have also gone in and looked at the state cases brought by said police.
Right.
Or brought by the DAs. And I imagine everyone's going to get swept up. Everyone who played a part.
Totally.
Including whatever prosecutor or, whatever Commonwealth official decided to bring charges against, like Karen Reed or some other person. That's all going to be wrapped in.
And they have to. Right. They have to do this. They have to, touch with kids' gloves here because, they don't want an investigation that somebody actually is guilty. They don't want guilty parties that these people are in charge of investigating to go free either. So this is a very delicate situation because if they're investigating these cops, and their actions are, questionable as far as the methods of investigation. Well, this gives the defense attorneys of these other defendants a lot to
Oh
work
yeah,
with.
they're all going to file motions
Right.
for new trial. Any case that these corrupt officers or DAs were involved in, they're all their attorneys are going to file motions for new trial because they're going to say, hey, how do we know this cop didn't do X, Y, Z, plant evidence, or whatever they want to say?
Totally. Their
But-
credibility's all fucked.
Yeah, it's gone. And since they brought this case under 42 USC 1983, that's the Civil Rights Act, then it's very broad spectrum. This case, the Birchmore case, God rest her soul, this case ended up in murder because of the violations of her civil rights. But other cases will end up, like you're saying, the other defendants ended up in convictions. And that was a violation, a constitutional violation that caused those people to be convicted.
There you
assuming
go.
arguendo that those cops were also dirty in those cases.
Right.
And you have, as a defense counsel, you would have to consider that. So
Jesus. What a mess.
it's amazing.
What a mess.
Look,
Wow.
I practiced law most of my life in Texas, and I can tell you that this happens more than you think.
Wow. You said
yeah.
in Texas you practice this?
I've practiced in Texas and in Louisiana.
Okay.
Well, and I've taken a couple of Pro Hoc Vice cases out of state, but most of my career has been in Texas and Louisiana.
Would you say there's a lot of corruption in local places in Texas?
It's.
What about in the courts? Like specifically in the courts?
I would say mostly in the state courts. I would say mostly not, at least where I practiced. It was mostly pretty good judges and pretty good courts, and I think pretty good police departments. Maybe Houston has a problem. I started as a prosecutor in Houston.
Okay.
But maybe Harris County might have problems. But I practiced mostly in Travis County and then out in East Texas, and down in the Valley. And I like those judges a lot. Although the Valley judges, the state judges, not the federal judges, the Valley judges often got in trouble with federal investigations.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't about wrong defendants. It was just about graft and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was only curious because there was a case in Texas that I'm obsessed with, but I can't really do much about it because it involves a minor, and she's going to be a minor for quite a while, and there's just nothing that can really be done about it. Yeah.
I follow those cases, so
Yeah. Well, what was your? What was your? No, you didn't do anything wrong at all. I'm glad to have you. I would totally want to have you up here again. What was your initials again?
TKO.
TKO. I love it. I try a lawyer whose initials are TKO, dude. You can't, dude. I'm telling you, man. That's fantastic. That's amazing. Can't beat it. All right, TKO. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, and thank you so much for your coverage.
Oh man, my pleasure. Thanks for watching.
I'm only watching independent media now because the legacy media has gone by. I don't even know what they're doing.
You hear that, folks? That's a federal attorney right there telling y'all don't fucking listen to mainstream media.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, TKO. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
TKO, man. He was amazing. All right, folks. That was just fantastic. I am going to wrap this up. Oh, my God. Great news today, folks. Great news today. So, people, I'm telling you right now, the dominoes are about to fall. The first one just fell. For those of you who kept on tweeting, where are those feds? Where's Josh Levy? Blah, 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 blah. Well, how's that dick taste? Oh man, people, you guys are amazing, guys. I cannot tell you how happy I am today. And this is just, I mean, there's gonna be more happiness to come. It's gonna be fantastic. People, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for logging on and watching. I really appreciate all you. Make sure to hit the like on your way out if you haven't done that yet. It's easy to get distracted, and it is free. Please hit the like. And if you're not subscribed already, please make sure to subscribe. And man, make sure to subscribe to Turtle Boy Live as well. Man, he's this close to 100,000 subs if he is not there already. So make sure to do that. Man, yeah, amazing. You guys are fucking amazing. Oh my God. Big thank you to Annie Elise from 10 to Life for helping me behind the scenes with some information. And thank you so much, of course, to Cherry. And thank you so much to Mizzy for joining me. I love that I got to share this moment with her. There's nobody better that I would have rather shared that moment with. So I am so privileged and so honored and so humbled that she came up here and spoke with all of us, and we got to share these moments with her. That's so awesome. Cash, stay safe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been amazing, super supportive. You guys are fucking fantastic. But I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, folks. I do love you guys very much. And remember, folks, justice for Sandra Birchmore is already happening. And that means justice for John O'Keefe is on its way. So keep that in mind. Keep your ear to the grindstone. All right. Love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.